Yeah, I don't know why. You're live, by the way.
Hello, thank you for joining us. Welcome. We apologise that little bit of technical tomfoolery there. We had to activate the button manually instead of using the remote, but we're here and you're here. We're all here together, and thank you for joining us on Chaosium's Stream of Chaos, where we're going to be playing some fantastic Call of Cthulhu action. I'm joined, as I always am, by my fine friends over here. To my right, I have...
Hi, I'm Jackson. I'm playing Joseph Fisher, and I am somewhat distracted by some audio reverb.
Yeah,
being informed in the chat, so we'll get on that at some point. Joseph Fisher, of course, when we last met, had retreated under his favourite bridge in Berlin to kind of recover after the events, the traumatic events of last time.
Which is fair enough, absolutely. Audio is a bit echoey. We'll get onto that. Thank you very much for letting us know about it. Let's try and figure that out. In the meantime, I'm also joined over here. I mean, you know these people. They're fine people. They're wonderful. Who's to my left?
Hello, my name is Rachel. I am playing Percy Holmgren, a war photographer and now, I believe, documentary filmmaker.
Yes.
It's exciting. Percy is a little bit sick this week because I'm a little bit sick this week. So in-game, he's going to be sneezing a lot and occasionally taking some Panadol.
So when it's cold.
Percy, well, you know, exactly. You know, it's in character. Sometimes investigators get cold. That's just a thing that happens. And over here, of course, we have...
I'm playing Klaus Landsrider. I'm a core student and an athlete.
Klaus what rider?
Landsrider.
Okay.
If you need something done or gone to...
Wait, are you an athlete?
I'm your guy, yeah.
Nice.
Oh, you're back. I'm going to go play with the settings.
We're going to... not noticing any more echo? Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Oh,
We've
is it all
sorted that out.
fixed?
Oh, and as a reward...
Oh my god.
Thanks, Reaper.
Thank you so much.
For the 2-month streak. Wow.
Excellent. You are the best, Reaper, as you always are. Thank you for joining us here.
Let's break the audio at the start of every session.
Exactly.
Fix it real quick.
Yeah.
People will go, wow, it's amazing. You can
Now,
subscribe.
if you're just tuning in, so I'm going to give you a brief recap of everything, and then we're going to jump into our Call of Cthulhu game. This is really exciting because we're going to be getting back to the story of Berlin, the Wicked City, which is the sort of big overarching campaign we are playing from the Berlin sourcebook. We have introduced Klaus in the previous session, a fantastic solo session, an adaptation of Paper Chase from the Call of Cthulhu starter set. And now we can finally fold him into the main story. But before we jump into a recap, I want to talk about something very cool. We are doing a giveaway this stream, which is really, really cool. I think David can tell us more about it.
Oh man, I hope so. We are like really close to 1,000 followers on the channel, so we're giving away a copy of Berlin, the Wicked City. You'll be familiar with it because that's what we've been playing for the last while.
What does that cover look like again, James?
The cover of the book, a fantastic cover done by Louis Musi, I believe, who also did all of the great art in a lot of the great art in the Sandy Peterson's Guide to Eldritch Abominations.
That's exactly right. So I think the giveaway goes live at like 9, which is when we normally take our break. And so during that, it should be like a little bot, and you'd like write a word in the thing, and if you get chosen, you win. If it doesn't work, that's okay. We'll just pick someone randomly.
Exactly.
So
Perfect.
We literally cannot screw it up.
We've got a bunch of things. We've got a bunch of dice here. We should be totally fine.
What are the dice involved for?
So we can randomly pick people.
Yeah.
Also, we can gamble with their, you know. All right. So without further ado, let's jump in. I hope you enjoy the next scenario of Berlin, the Wicked City, which is called Dances of Vice, Horror, and Ecstasy.
Ooh.
So it's 1926. All right. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years. 1924 was the last sort of disastrous events that took place in the previous campaign.
That's a word for it.
So the previous campaign went all right. You know, only one investigator died, which on a Call of Cthulhu scoreboard is pretty good.
That's 1 for 3.
Missing.
Yes, went missing. Never to be. Well, we'll see.
I haven't seen a death.
That's right. You were like, she might still be out there.
I'm just saying, eventually I see a body.
Frankensteining it up.
What was her name?
Elsie Mueller.
Elsie Mueller.
Elsie Mueller.
Exactly. So, our characters, our core team, had gotten together to investigate the disappearance of a potential member of the Romanov family, and were pulled into an investigation that spanned all of Berlin because the reinvigorated spirit of Karl Grossman, one of Berlin's most famous serial killers, had come back to life in some kind of strange way, and was trying to hunt down more victims, especially the victims that he had missed during his lifetime, one of which was this potential Romanov. And that person is a real person. If you go back and look at some of the old episodes on YouTube, they're all up there. You can actually read about their history and their story. So there you go. Now, at the end of that adventure, tragically, the
We screwed it up.
potential
Yeah.
Romanov princess was flung from a balcony.
Yep.
There is a word for that, isn't it? Defenestrated.
Defenestrated. No, she has to go through a window for that to be true.
I think, yeah,
It's
you
a
are
window.
right. Yeah, it was.
She did go through a window.
Not just
Yeah.
like yeeted.
It was through a window. Yeah, it was yoked.
Okay, was I yoked you yoked.
She was defenestrated because you went through the window first.
Yes.
Still counts.
Anyway, over the side, and Elsie was deformed by demonic mutations, growing several extra legs, several extra eyes, and in general several extra bits before running off and vanishing into the night, leaving the two of you, Percy and Joseph, a little less sane and a little worse for wear, and really you were just sort of absorbed back into your lives with the memory of what happened lingering in the back of your heads, unable to forget, unable to move on, caught in a kind of limbo. A very specific kind of limbo for Percy, because Percy went to prison. As a result, you...
Oh my god, I forgot. Yeah.
You've spent about a year and a half in a German prison.
I want to what charge?
False
exact,
charges.
I'd have to think of what the exact charge would be.
Wasn't it like
It
it
was just like being a
implicated with-
commie.
It,
Is that what it
there would
is?
there would probably be some kind of like
Unsavory association.
unsavory association, and also probably destroying or concealing evidence. I think would be the only
Yeah.
other one that they could actually get to.
Can they get you?
To you?
Can they get you for concealing evidence if they don't have a crime to pin on you?
Well, wasn't, didn't I, I
could-
lived near where she died, and then I tried to bounce.
Yeah, you live
yeah.
under,
Right nearby.
above where she died,
Yeah.
and on the other side of the window she was yoked out of.
Yeah, exactly. So you're a little, you were a little implicated, whereas you sort of just vanished under one of your many bridges.
That's right.
And you've managed to keep living relatively well. So you've been out probably for a couple of months now.
It's just Yosef under the bridge.
The perfect fairy tale for kids of all ages.
Yeah,
Joseph
yeah.
on the bridge,
With his
walking
mortar
around with
launcher.
his mortar launcher.
Exactly right. Yeah. I'm like the
Answer
Watcher
me
of
these
Berlin.
riddles 3.
Yeah. The Bridgeman of Berlin.
Exactly. So it's been a couple of months since you got out, Percy, and you've sort of did you two reconnect after you left prison? Did you visit Percy at all in prison or anything like
Did you
that?
visit me in prison?
Got it.
I wouldn't have like rung you. I wouldn't have
I
thought
don't
to
think you
ring
could
you.
have.
Yeah.
I had no fixed address.
I have friends.
I also doubt I would be like looked onto kindly
Yeah.
walking into a prison.
No, I was fine.
You were fine?
Yeah.
You had lots of friends? Plenty of people with
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have had friends.
I
yeah.
can't think of their
okay.
names.
Obviously.
I mean, actually, it was probably a little lonely. I mean, you are from a different country
That's
originally,
true.
so a
I'm
lot of
from
your friends are probably from
Sweden.
Sweden. And although one of your parents made it down one time to visit their son in prison because that's
Just
a friendly
once.
thing, just once, and then
But we drop in. Missed you at Christmas. Do they do Christmas in Sweden?
I'm sure they do. So it's been a couple of months, and the way that you two have sort of reconnected is in the direction that the newspaper that you all worked for, which was previously run out of the back of Elsie's house, has sort of continued to evolve. This communist left-leaning newspaper has sort of morphed, and it's been getting involved with the rapidly growing radio industry in Berlin. So you have all kind of ended up working for the film industry, or peripherally, getting jobs around there. You're working strictly as a documentary photographer now.
Yeah.
And you would probably be getting some of the same one-off gigs that you got, you know, to deliver this, help with this little thing, from the same crowd of people.
Sure.
So you're once again within associated circles.
Is there much call for artillery engineers in the film industry?
Engineers more, but you probably would have been more your other profession of hobo essentially would be much more in demand.
Yes, indeed.
You know, able to put people in touch with the right people and escape notice from the police and the various people who are looking out for political agitators. So that probably would have been in some demand.
Very good.
Right.
What are they doing? They're filming communist documentaries.
Yeah, they are working as propagandists.
Sounds
essentially.
good to me.
You gotta
I'm
give it
cool with
What you would be doing is you would actually be working for a film company. And the film company would be above board, and it would be filming. You know, there's a huge burst of film at this point.
Yeah.
But you would be. This film company would be on the side, kind of, you know, pushing its own agenda and making some other films which they'd probably be illegally distributing and claiming they have nothing to do with it. But
Sure.
of course, you all know the truth.
Kids aren't reading newspapers anymore, are they?
Yeah,
James?
it's all movies, it's all films, and that's the problem, really.
Damn
the
radio.
Newspaper's just out the wind. That's a poor choice of words.
Too soon.
Anyway,
Wow.
so we're going to jump into the story in 1926. Specifically, we're going to jump in right after you just worked on a very large newsreel documentary film that's been spread through and distributed to a bunch of different areas. And you had to get a lot of difficult shots for this. A lot of it was focusing on what would be called the last dregs of the Great Inflation, which was the period in German history where currency completely blew out, and, you know, people are shipping wheelbarrows of German marks and using them to wallpaper their houses because it's cheaper than paper.
Or just using like pounds and dollars, I guess.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's most functional economic trading was done with pounds and dollars. The mark was just completely obsolete. But actually, because we are playing in a world that progresses, and it has been 2 long years, the currency in Germany has kind of stabilized. It's moved back to a pretty much a functional level. But the industry and particularly the fortune of the citizens of Berlin is still in a bit of dire straits. So there's still a lot of work that needs to happen. And the industries that have really flourished are the criminal industries and the entertainment industries, basically industries that were able to sort of lean in and profit off the lawlessness and the sort of difficulty.
So sorry, did you say that the overall economy is up or down?
Overall, the economy is up. You are pulling out. So if you can imagine, here's where you were in 1924. There was a massive dip, and you're now about where you were again in 1924, right? Except, instead when you see a boarded up shop now, you're not like, this is a sign of terrible things to come. You're like, this is a sign of the terrible things that came to pass. You spent mostly in prison and you spent mostly homeless, so actually it didn't affect you. But Klaus, it could have affected you quite a bit.
Just ride this wave.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your character's history, just to refresh everyone's memory?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I was born in Berlin, or nearby, at least my family, locals, fairly well-to-do, as one may be. Went through university, was like an athlete, ran a lot of scholarships and stuff, did some training with people for the Olympics, got a couple of young up-and-comers, did pretty well. And then since then, went into the military where I served as an officer, and I guess most pertinently I'm now back out and I'm working in the film industry as a trainer for young sort of stunt people, or I guess actors looking to do stunts.
In general, right.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. So you have all sort of come across each other in various times professionally. How did you get affected by the Great Inflation? What's your credit rating score?
60, I think.
60. So you're actually relatively wealthy.
Yeah. You're well off.
Now, is this... your credit rating is 60, so either way you are relatively wealthy, but that's kind of up to you to decide whether that you managed to preserve wealth that was already there, or whether you have made a sudden uptick of money.
I think we managed to hold on to it. We were well off on the one side. We wrote it out just like holding property and stuff through the others, and it's now beginning to stabilize. I think there was definitely a strong part of it in the middle. We were fairly concerned. A few members of my family moved overseas. They were like, this is not getting better. But those of us that wrote it out are now beginning to see the returns, and hopefully things are stabilizing. We can spend money again at last.
Okay. And of course, all of you have a little bit of Mythos experience, which is important to say. Both the two of you from the previous adventure, and yourself from the solo adventure that was played, which is nice and exciting. Now we're going to jump into the story.
Sanity?
Sanity?
Can I get a little bit of that back? Or nah?
I believe I
Did we
went
roll
through
something?
the effects of the sanity at the time.
Okay,
and I
very
believe that your sanity, basically, since the scenario failed, you won't be getting much of it
That's
back.
right.
Yeah, I think we lost some at the
Yeah,
end.
exactly. So,
But even
so
like the year and a half in between don't really help.
if you had checked yourself in somewhere, have you checked yourself in somewhere? You're welcome to retcon that
I
and say that
doubt
you.
it.
No, yeah, you probably wouldn't
They're
have
expensive
the.
too.
Yeah, they are
that's what I was
expensive. Very
thinking.
expensive.
And what about my phobias and manias? They're just kicking around?
They are still there currently. What they are is
Excellent.
they are functionally dormant until you have a bout of madness. You, from a role-playing perspective, can imbue just a little of them, just a sprinkling if you'd like.
Excellent.
But whenever you have a bout of madness, they come back in full force, as well as anything else, which is really fun because you can get these great stacking bars of like I have 10 different manias,
Yeah.
10 different phobias, and let's get into it.
That is an interesting definition of fun, you're right.
Oh yeah, no, it's lovely and fun, isn't it? Yeah.
It's variety night in Yosef's brain.
Everyone's invited. Yeah, you what's that movie in Inside Out? Is that
Inside
it?
Out.
Yeah.
Oh.
Instead, you've also got
Everyone is
paralysis of
discussed.
making decisions. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to jump in one warm summer's night in Berlin. When all of you are pretty excited because as part of your most recent role at one of the studio's large productions, they have comped you really nice tickets to a really good show. Specifically, they are sending you to a cabaret performance. And they are sending you to a cabaret performance in a place called Jägerplatz, which is right next to the entertainment district of Berlin. And there's going to be all this cool stuff there. It's at this tiny little club that has a fantastic reputation. You both are aware that the star performer at this cabaret is going to be Anita Berber, who the two of you have met before. You met her in a nightclub and she lulled Elsie into a cocaine binge at the time because she was a rather extreme personality. What did your characters remember or think of Anita when you met her the first time?
I remember not liking her. No, I remember being just kind of like put off by her like excess. Not really my aesthetic.
Yeah.
So that's all I really remember. But it's been a little while.
Yeah. It's been a bit, so you might have, your opinion might be, but what about yourself?
I think exactly the same, but I think over time, I've had a lot of time on my own to think about those few days with Elsie. So I think my memory of Anita would have very much soured.
Yeah.
And there will be some blame there.
All right. Well, that's completely fair enough. Now, specifically, you were going to be going to the Jägerstrasse. Sorry, Jägerstrasse, not Jägerplatz. Sorry, Jägerstrasse station. And then you going to be going down to the border of the Friedrichstrasse, which is another district just nearby.
Does Strasse mean district?
I believe so. I'm sure. Once again, I'm gonna. There is so many beautiful German names in this scenario, and I'm gonna butcher them all, and I'm incredibly sorry.
I thought it just meant street.
It does sound like straight.
It does sound like street.
Strauss.
Strauss means street. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yes.
Good say.
Excellent. So you are going to be going down these two main streets. Friedrichstrasse is the entertainment district of Berlin, and you are also going to be specifically going to a cabaret which is called the Weiße Maus. I believe that is how you would pronounce it. It is spelt, if you are
Weiße
curious, W-E-I, the lovely B that is not a B, that is an S sound, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah.
E, and then a space, mouse, M-A-U-S.
White mouse.
That would make sense, but I'm not actually sure
Yeah,
of
because
the...
they do come in white, don't they? Yeah.
I was
that's
guessing
definitely
it German because no one knows. I'm just going to start saying.
All right,
White
fair
mouse.
enough.
I just googled Weiss and Mouse and I get pictures of white mice. So.
Okay, well, there you
well,
go.
guess so.
So you're
I'm adding
white
2
mouse.
points to German.
Oh
every
my
time
gosh.
every time I get the correct
Aren't
German
you
pronunciation.
already-
The Weiss and Mouse in Berlin is still
Yes, I
open.
Yes, well, there is a lot of stuff in this scenario that is real world stuff. So for the enthusiasts of German history, specifically German film, especially German expressionist film, the other person who is going on behalf of the studio is a man named Albin Grau, who you are all really excited to go
love
to.
that guy.
He's a cool creator. He went and he created this massive film company, actually, and unfortunately it completely flopped. He tried to make this artsy movie called Nosferatu, and it was just a complete failure. No one liked it. It's never going to be seen as a massive seminal moment in film. So really cool. You're actually going to be having dinner and watching the cabaret show with Albin Grau, who is the director of Nosferatu and the founder of the company that made it. So that's pretty cool.
What a cool guy.
Yeah, very
I
interesting.
know Nosferatu, not the rest of it. But
So you are heading along. You're going to be heading to this thing tonight. You've probably taken some time to prepare. These tickets would be quite expensive and quite exclusive. You'd need to be well connected.
Are we reading this, bro?
Yeah, but you've been really lucky to get these, essentially. You'd be very excited about this. And it also comes with, you're pretty sure, at least a couple of free drinks.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
handy.
What can go wrong? The three of you are probably going to be meeting at one of the central stations beforehand to head down
How do we
towards
know this? How
Jägerstrasse.
do we know? Oh, we work together.
You all work together. So you
so I
would've-
know them.
You would have met them in passing. You don't know them very well,
Yeah.
but you're familiar with them in the same way that Elsie was familiar with them. You know, you trash into them and you go, "Oh, hi, I know who you are." Right?
From somewhere.
Yeah.
You're the homeless
Yeah.
man we employed to
Oh.
dodge crime, from what I can remember. And I would be associated with the commie stuff.
Well, if your character is not associated with that,
wait.
Why would I want them to take my money?
no, well, it makes sense.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
So
This is going to be an interesting movie.
what would be going on here is that you probably would be aware, it's kind of impossible to miss, that to be connected and to be making films at this point, you have to have some ties to some kind of political groups and possibly to some crime as well. So you would see him around and you'd go, oh, he's part of that arm of things. He's part of that leg. So you probably wouldn't have a great opinion of him. You would know that this one is a documentary filmmaker, and you would probably have
And served. No. Did both of you serve?
yeah, they both
yeah.
Some points.
yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
were
So where do we rank here?
What do you mean? Well, I don't know your communist necessarily, do I?
Well, no,
That would
I
be-
mean in the army.
Oh, wait, where do you rank?
Yeah,
Grunt.
in relation to
Where
us.
do I rank?
Well, I was
officer.
I was an engineer though.
Oh shit! All right.
Yeah.
Good grunt. Smart grunt.
Excellent.
Yeah, nice.
All right.
I think engineers. You get a rank for engineer, right?
Yeah,
That'd be
you would have,
a-
you would have a rank.
You'd be an officer of some flavour,
you'd
wouldn't
be
you?
a
You'd be. I believe the term is petty
private-
officer.
Petty officer.
Yeah.
Googling German ranks.
What did I even have a rank?
You probably didn't. I think you were there as a
I think you were just a
photographer.
general.
Wouldn't I have gone through like some kind of basic?
Yeah, you would have gone through at least like some rudimentary training.
Yeah, so I'd be,
But you were just a journalist.
Bloke.
You probably would not be given an official rank though. I have to.
Well, I was in the army too.
The Imperial German Army. Yeah, I mean anyone that served gets a big.
IGA.
The idea.
IGA is a supermarket here in Australia, and the site of all of the best snacks. So,
Musketeer.
anyway, so you're all preparing. You're going to be meeting at this station, heading down together. It's going to be a lovely outing. It's going to be so fun. Nothing bad or spooky is going to happen.
Oh, good.
Can you please describe, just to refresh people's memory, and because some time has passed and you might have changed, where you were leaving from, what your character looks like, what they are doing, all of that kind of stuff. Let's start with the new person, Klaus.
Sure. I am a sort of like late 30s guy, pretty heavy facial scarring, a lot of built up tissue from getting whipped with razor sharp swords in my youth, and then going into like military fields and just working as an athlete. Got a weathered look to him, bit of grey coming into the hair, just kind of early from relative to his years, and he's dressed. This is a formal occasion, right?
Yeah, this would be fun.
I will be wearing my officer's suit. The sort of like I don't know what it looks like, but I'm imagining.
Yeah, I can imagine
Yeah.
like a Sound of Music style.
Yeah, he's got.
Yeah.
Wait, What? Sound of Music.
No, isn't
Too
there-
late.
The only Sound of Music element I can think of is the dress and the flowers. I
No,
don't think I'm
there's
wearing
dudes
that.
in Sound of Music.
Okay, I can't remember
Yeah,
it.
well,
I'm thinking like it's got
Oh,
like
okay, well,
Yeah.
that, but minus
it's got like the
20.
shoulder pads and everything. So I've got my little rank
You got your
stitched
little,
on. Any badges,
medals.
medals there. Yeah, absolutely. I'll wear that. And I'm carrying my saber as well, just to complete the look.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's who we're associating with now.
Wow.
There you go. So you're prim, you're proper, you're heading off. Where do you live?
I live a little bit further out in like one of the suburbs,
Mm-hmm.
so I've had to take the. I've been. I guess public transport's pretty good.
Yeah.
I love taking the train in.
Oh,
I'm not
is
gonna-
it?
Yeah, public transport. I mean, it's not fantastic, but it's well used, and you make do as best you can.
Yeah.
A few trolley cars, particularly at this
Oh,
time,
nice.
rolling
And I guess I'll be driven.
around. Just to be
Yeah, that's,
difficult.
that's
Wow.
it. That's
Credit
fine.
rating, 60.
I'll be driven to the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
60's
makes
pretty
that
good.
totally
Yeah.
makes sense.
No,
You could
no,
absolutely
I'm
be
not changing. As soon as you have to
Mary
change
Ann was
train-
60.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So you're-
wealthy. You're very wealthy. Yeah, well done.
And I'm in a very poor, like,
Class.
you know.
Yeah, no, 100%. You'd be tearing along, and it would be an interesting drive. You'd probably go right through the entertainment district, so you'd have these throngs of people all around you. You're looking at all the garish lights, beautiful new buildings popping up, music blaring. And it's a bit of a trip. Percy, what about yourself?
So Percy is tall. That is his main
Main defining feature.
characteristic.
Bulk of
Have you changed at all from prison? Have you put on some muscle? Or have you,
I
like,
don't
lost some
think so.
muscle?
He's just not. He's not a very. I mean, his strength is 20. That's right. I always forget this. No, he's a very bookish man. He's lived his whole life as that like lanky dude. He doesn't want to do away with that. But he's 29 now. He's almost 30. But he's relatively unblemished. He wasn't like he wasn't a combat sort of person in the war. He's
Oh, I didn't know you could be in the war and not a combat sort of person. I mean, there you go.
No, he's just
Photography.
taking photos.
Just taking
But
photos.
it's just a holiday.
It was a what?
It was these two. This man who lost his leg.
I had people who lost legs.
It's the same sort of thing.
Yeah, people to do that for me.
Yeah, right. Excellent.
Yeah, and he look. I because post prison, like, how does that muck you up financially?
I got you to roll everything that I needed you to
Yeah,
roll. So you're actually you're about the same as you
fine.
are
Yeah,
now.
okay, so-
have you moved house or are you still in the same place?
No, I would have fucking moved. I think.
Okay, yeah, that's
People
absolutely fair
died in
enough.
I think I would have
Ground
just
floor
left.
now.
They're like different suburb.
That's not too dangerous. No, I lose different place. Still same like minimalistic aesthetic. Isn't really big into like big cameras anymore. Really more into like film kind of photography. He's still kind of is good at it, but doesn't really do it anymore. He's got
Sure.
some bad memories associated with it now.
Yeah.
At this event, I guess he's just wearing a sort of passably fashionable suit. Of
Nice.
I guess it's black. His hair is kind of like, I guess it's kind of like blonde and short, so it's out of the way. He's just not a very complicated person.
Yeah, simple. So
Yeah.
you've got a passable suit, you're ready to go, you probably take the train down.
Yeah.
Exciting, cool. You're heading towards
Got
this
my
lovely event.
Metro card.
Perfect. What about
Well,
yourself?
you guys have
John.
to travel from the suburbs. It's something like living in the centre of the city. It's or in amongst the
Yeah, you live right in the middle of everything.
Yeah, exactly.
You're underneath it.
So Yosef like rolls awake and dips one, like flops open on the bank of the river under a bridge, flops one kind of like arm into the water accidentally and thinks, oh well, I'm gonna do the rest of it now. And
Oh my god.
dunks his head in. So he's going to arrive with the finest river water.
Oh, wonderful.
dear.
Slicking his hair back. He is an average size, I guess, older man, right? He's 48 now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he'd be an older man.
He's the eldest, yeah. Of the three of us.
He doesn't have a bathroom. The river is his bathroom.
Yeah.
You know
so
that rivers and cities are like horrifically polluted.
not back in the day.
Oh,
Not back in the day.
It's where they put all the
Not back
bodies.
in my day. Not back in the
Yeah. I
remember
1880s.
If it was a lake, different story. I trust lakes.
Yes, I know a good limnologist. So yes, he's an average-sized, kind of graying chap with an unkempt beard, and I'm suddenly imagining curly hair. Detail.
Yeah.
It struck me, but
Slightly
it's there
serrated
now.
on the
Curly
edges.
hair?
Yeah, like salt and pepper. So he's got like he puts on his like finest overcoat, which keeps him warm in the winter. You know, it's covered in dust and sand, so he thinks it goes into the river.
Yeah.
Just
God.
No,
give
it
a
doesn't.
quick
No,
wash, and
okay,
then throws back
fine.
on. It'll dry on the way.
So sort of
and-
mildewy as you're sitting in this performance.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So and then he makes sure his perfectly maintained mortar launcher is safe and secure in its hiding spot, and then he would drag his wooden leg, which comes up to just above the knee, all the way to the cabaret.
It's like a full spectrum. You got the rich to the rich of heart. All right. So as you begin to approach, I'd like you to imagine your characters moving along. Imagine them tearing through the space, and I'd like you to ponder on a little quote. And this is a real quote from a book called "Dance as Form and Experience," written by Sebastian Drost. The quote translated is, "Anita Berber does not reveal vice lasciviously. Anita Berber does not coldly calculate the possibilities of lustful times. Anita Berber is vice as much as she is horror, the horror and the ecstasy."
If I didn't like it before,
That's a good
This
review.
dude was a hell of a fan.
She is dance.
This is exactly the crowd you are dealing with. This is like the true. You're all working at a film studio, so that you're already like into that world slightly, and they've got like these crazy tickets. As you get close, you're starting to wonder whether they weren't gifts and they were just like, I can't go, I don't want to go. Like someone else has to. So you arrive at the White Mouse. And it is tucked away just off the main strip of the entertainment district. So you go right past it, and there's music blaring, and it's wonderful. And then you have to take a couple of quick, tight turns through a series of, small alleyways until you come to this cabaret. It's quite well lit. It's got a nice front. An entryway. It's a little removed from everything, but it's still quite garish, and it looks pretty important and professional. And as you approach, you are ushered inside. It's a reasonably sized theater. It's not some tiny little place. The last time you saw Anita Berber, she was at this tiny little sort of dive bar equivalent, right?
And barely clothed.
Oh, I mean, stark naked at one
Pointingly
point.
yes.
lack of clothing.
Yes, she had a chimp with her and a big coat which she took off and completely naked underneath. So there you go.
Forgotten the chimp. I think it attracts a ventriloquist.
Oh yeah, the ventriloquist. I remember the ventriloquist. Anyway, continuing on. So you come in, and this is a larger theater. So there's actually a proper entry foyer, and you can see a woman off to one side, and she's sitting there, bored, kind of just staring into space. There's art all over the walls, a lush carpet. You can see like a hall heading deeper inside. But this woman is clearly at a ticket booth, and she's making no move to acknowledge you. She is sitting French inhaling from her cigarette, sort of letting the smoke come out and pulling it up her nose, I believe.
Oh.
So she is
Cool.
sort of doing smoke tricks, waiting.
Cool.
Yeah. The three of you, for fortune's sake, all arrive at approximately the same time and make your greetings and probably have a brief chat outside. Percy's looking very respectable. Flash as hell. He smells kind of funny. And you both
Tripping a little bit.
A moment of...
I feel like you have 60 in appearance.
yeah.
You are way more attractive than I am.
You've just got to scrape
I'm
off the
a
ladies.
35.
There's a certain
By a
charm.
healthy margin.
Yeah, I'm a trendsetter.
You're a bit of
gotta
a...
wear it.
Everyone's going to be wearing this.
It's
next year.
grunge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh
It's
my
starting the
God.
grunge look. Only just a little early.
What was the name of our film studio, by the way? Have a name?
The film studio,
Yeah.
yes, let me get it for you. The name of the film studio you were working for is called Hilde Film,
Hilde
HILDE
Film.
hyphen film.
Which was founded by Alban Grau.
No, it was not
No.
founded by him. His company is now defunct because Nosferatu was such a failure, just terrible.
Oops.
Wait, it's defunct at the time?
Yeah, it is defunct
Oh.
now. It is. Yeah, he is a.
That's not to associate with him.
There's a little bit of that. Definitely critically, Nosferatu is already getting some pretty.
Okay.
But it was a commercial.
But financially?
Yeah, no, it was a flop. It was a flop.
Then,
His company got bust. I can understand
speaks
it.
for itself.
Exactly. It shan't be remembered. All of you should go and watch Nosferatu if you haven't. It is just perfectly creepy. It's just amazing.
Doesn't get away now, does he? So
Yes,
late.
but it is trash.
Yes, that's right. And good afternoon, Percy.
Hello.
And good afternoon, Joseph.
I thought it was the evening, but here we are.
Well,
Yes, and.
yeah.
It's getting to
No, and
both of you are correct.
I am confused.
It's perfectly straddling that line between afternoon and evening.
Well, obviously,
It's a glass half empty.
the Swedish say good evening and afternoon at slightly different times.
It's
Yeah,
cultural
exactly. It's a
distances.
cultural
These
thing.
sort of
No,
things
yes,
can bump up.
yes.
Absolutely.
The sun
Swedish
sets
are
very
wrong.
early
Yes.
at 2 in the afternoon.
Well, are you looking forward to the performance?
Well, there are free drinks.
Yes, so I hear. And a cultural experience.
I could do without seeing that barber woman again.
Yeah, have you got a... She caused you some affront?
Anita Berber, I will remind you, is probably about the most famous actress of the decade.
Oh.
She's
She
A-list.
associated with us in any way?
She's probably too blue for your blood. You probably would have overheard
man,
meetings where it's like, oh my god, wouldn't it be great if we
Yeah.
managed to get her?
Right.
You probably
I'm probably here. I am intending to bump into her at some point and just, throw my name into the hat, see if she
Exactly.
remembers me in future, source something.
You probably would have come closest because you, as a very specialized trainer,
Yes.
would sort of train the full scope of people. But she would typically not take roles where she's sword fighting. She's an artist and sort of crosses all kinds of transgressive arts.
Yes.
She is also. Can I get anyone who works in the film industry, which is all of you essentially by extension, to make a education role?
Oh, well, I've got a very excellent education.
Yes, you do.
In engineering. Is that going to help me?
Make it hard. So you'll have to.
Oh,
yeah, that's
you
good.
should have
Disadvantage,
passed.
yes.
Yeah, success 2.
Wait, what?
Ew.
Disadvantage.
Oh, sorry, no, disadvantage. Just hard, just to make
Yeah,
success.
success 2. Hard success.
Okay, fantastic. So, all of
She
you would
mentioned
know,
that.
and it's not too difficult to know, that she is completely and utterly drug-addled.
Yeah.
But you also would know that in recent years, it has progressed past the point of like, oh, she's going and having a wild night, like what she did with Elsie. She is never not high.
Oh,
she is
man,
an
okay.
addict,
And she's planning to perform.
she's planning to perform, absolutely. Her work has been suffering as a result. She's on the downswing of her career because she is, by all accounts, completely impossible to deal with. Most recently, she made the headlines because she went overseas and was accused of being a German spy by the
Okay.
Hungarians. And
Anything
by the
that seems like that would be a
Hungarians.
kick up for notoriety.
It absolutely was, but especially when it was revealed that no, she wasn't a spy. It just turns out she'd had a torrid affair with the Prince of Hungary,
Even
and he
better!
used his weight to get her accused and kicked out of the country. So
Phenomenal.
it's been a little interesting. Is my point. But she's definitely a handful.
All the same, if she approaches any of you, make sure you get any details that she has. We can always use more actors. Eh?
I don't see the interest.
Well, she's...
I think these story fiction-based films are all just folly. It'll be gone in 6 years.
That might be true, but 6 years of money in our pockets is nothing to snort at. All the same. Where are our tickets? Are they coming along?
So you turn and you look over to the woman, and she sort of staring, and she kind of looks up. Can I get all of you to make an appearance check?
Oh,
Can I get some
Absolutely.
dice?
Which ones would you
for
like?
my
I'll go
ugly,
first.
ugly
My
face?
appearance is bop 28.
Your appearance is 28.
Fail. Yeah.
Fail.
My appearance went down from being a course student because I got whipped in the face with swords so much.
Do you have like one particularly gnarly scar?
I'm an ugly. My nose is like
I failed
cut
a
over
pick.
resealed. I have a cleft, like the lip is peeled and you see my teeth. I'm an ugly dude.
Oh, you're ugly. Okay, cool.
I do not wear it well.
Right.
I just dress nice.
I
'Cause
failed.
I'm rich.
Okay.
You
Oh,
also
no,
failed.
also
Wow.
failed.
Where
For
is-
So
once.
she looks across the collection of you and seems remarkably disinterested. And when her eyes go across to Joseph, she perks up for a second, but then kind of leans back, smelling through the scent of her cigarette.
Awful.
The smell of your mildewy clothes. And then with a great series of kind of exaggerated sighs, she rummages around, she pulls out 3 tickets, she confirms you're from Hilda Film, okay, yes, of course, you present everything that you need to present, she confirms your identity, and finally she says, okay, well, just head straight ahead down that hallway, and then down the stairs, and you will see the auditorium, it's wonderful, please expect an absolute beautiful evening. It truly will be a delight. But before you go, she pulls out a large box which contains a set of beautiful pale white or pitch black opera masks covered in feathers. And she says, if you would like, you can take any of these to remain anonymous.
Feels like a hint because we're all ugly. But is it not mandatory?
It's not mandatory, no. Some of our guests prefer privacy.
Understand. I intend to be seen.
Very well, of course.
I don't need to bother with such thing.
All right, and yourself?
If it's the fashion of the time,
All right, you want black or white?
black.
All right. You take a black one and sort of pitch crow's feathers or something. It's quite nice. It's
great.
You put it on and you feel a little bit silly, but well, such is the way.
I hate how good it looks too.
Yeah, you actually really
pulling it off.
elevates
Ah,
your
damn it.
whole face.
Are they ever supposed to be drink tickets? in these?
Frames your bone.
And she you head straight towards the bar. They will be able to serve you quite comfortably.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. So the 3 of you head forward. And you head down to the end of the hall and you turn down and you walk down into this underground auditorium. It's a great deal bigger than the one that you were at previously. It probably seats about 50 or 60 people, mostly at tables. There's actually like large sets of tables all sort of scattered around and there's people sort of crowded around them. It seems like all of the individual tables are where people kind of know each other from. You cast an eye around the room and you can see this sort of steady heaving horde of faces. To one side there is a large bar and you can see that they are pouring liberally glasses of wine, whatever couple of free drinks was happening appears to have very quickly moved into as many as you want. The champagne is the drink of the evening that they are pouring very happily and handing out, but there's red wine and beer as well that's being served. As you glance around, you can see right towards the front at one of the prime seats, there is a rather mousy man. He's wearing like a thin little suit. He's got a very small pair of spectacles. His hair's thinning a little bit. He's got a nice smile on his face. He looks every bit sort of the charming professor.
Do you recognize him?
Yeah, this is Alban Grau. This is the other person who is here to see the show with you.
I'm not associating with him.
Oh, fair enough. But it appears that your seats will be next to him.
Look, this is an insult. We've been put next to the one with the failing film. I'm getting a drink.
All right. You wander straight over to the bar and you are immediately handed a glass of champagne. Unless you want to drink something else.
Slide it back. Too light.
We have some elderflower liqueur if you would prefer, or some imported whiskey.
Whiskey.
All right. So very well. I mean, begins to prepare. So we have to sort of like go and get it from a box and everything. But you are properly served and sent on your way. Yeah.
Shoulder the guided point and gestured vaguely in the direction of my medals.
Yeah. I love it.
Wow.
He kind of gives you a brief nod. Are you excited about the show?
Always willing to see something new. How about yourself?
Well, I'll be honest. I think this is all a bit much. I wouldn't have expected this much. Someone slides him champagne. He kind of looks at it. Glass. When I'm really just here to see some naked dancing. And he laughs uproariously and claps your shoulder.
So yes, yes, well, it's quite a sight to behold, I understand. I'm going to go through my bags, I pull out a little business card for a thing, I go, if you're ever interested in something a little more real, I'll slide it across. I'm going to network.
Alright.
Who was this? Was this Growl?
I don't know who this was. This was some random.
Can you make a credit rating check for me?
I think I'm pretty quick, yeah.
As you begin to sort of...
I had 60. I failed.
Okay, so you're doing your best, but these people are basically not here to network.
I'm the kind of guy that, like, I think a bit more of myself than I am. I'm an ugly dude. I was an officer, but not one of substance necessarily well known. I think I tried networking. I eventually end up back with these guys a little bit like, all right, later then.
Excellent. Now, what have the two of you done in the meantime?
Getting a beer.
I also want a beer.
Okay, 2 beers are still. You actually both sort of the beer is the least popular of the evening. So you sort of end up down at the bottom of the bar by yourselves, and you're actually left in a moment of silence to be able to sort of chat to each other. If there's anything that you had to say to each other, and you haven't probably spoken since
we haven't
the
really
incidents.
caught up. So are you still under the bridge? Is that still, where you hang out?
Yes, it is a fine bridge.
Oh, cool. You been up to much?
I watch the streets. I keep them safe. Train my weapons in any dark creatures of I watch.
So you're unemployed?
I haven't landed in prison, if that's what you're asking.
There's a little bit of
I
tension.
was perfectly productive in prison. I read books. I grew as a person. I'm in film now.
I am glad to hear previous misadventure hasn't so affected.
I think that it's affected you a bit much.
Shall agree to disagree.
Two of you grab your
Holy
beers
shit.
and head back to there's tension in the air. So the two of you basically don't quite agree, but that makes sense. You had very little sanity, and you had quite a bit, and you were passing quite well, unless I'm mistaken.
Yeah, I guess I'm just he's going for the whole, I just wants to put it behind him.
No, absolutely. That's fantastic.
Looking forward.
So the two of you end up sitting at opposite ends of the table, and everyone kind of sits down. It's a little bit tense. You're a little glum. The only person who seems at all sort of pleased is Alban Grau, who is sitting there, looking quite happy with himself, making casual conversation. And saying, "So, have you seen anything like this before?"
We have seen Miss Barber once before.
Ah, really? That's interesting. Was she entertaining?
Yes, to some.
I see. Excellent. I mean, I keep up with the tabloids, as everyone does, so...
Yeah, well, I heard she's, off the deep end.
I will admit that I have heard the same thing, but perhaps this performance will revise my opinion of her. Yourself, are you familiar?
I have seen some of her writings in the paper and references to her. I have not seen her herself.
It takes quite a while for the show to start. So you probably end up sitting for about half an hour to 45 minutes, kind of making idle conversation, knocking back more and more drinks. Is anyone drinking particularly heavily?
A little
Sure.
bit,
Yeah. All right. So I'd like everyone to make a con check.
Hell
You
yeah.
can use the alcohol rules.
Hell yeah. Oh, wow, that's a... Did I bother locking that down to a success 3?
No, you do not need to look it down to a success rate.
Success 2.
Success 2.
Okay.
Oh, success 1.
Okay, so all of you are pleasantly buzzed, which is actually going to give you immunity to sanity loss of 1 point.
That's just what I need.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
I think it goes straight to 2. I think it's 2
Double
4 6.
check, but yes, I believe you are right.
Is Grouse wearing the anonymity fold?
No, he is not. A couple of people are. About half the audience. It seems...
I mean, we can recognize him, so...
No, all I'm saying is it seems to have the opposite effect. Look, these ones are much clearer to see. Look, they stand out. Those wearing the folds.
See, they are more high profile.
I suppose people do not like to be seen seeing art.
Well, I mean, but do you recognize any of them?
I mean, I know a great
Let's
many
spot hidden
people.
check all of you if you're
Oh, what?
looking about and you were spotting and you were trying to spot people.
This
You're
one
right.
is a success 1.
This one... Ooh, I failed.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, all right. So the two of you aren't noticing anyone in particular. You notice a couple of people. scattered about. First of all, rather particularly, you notice there is a man who is what you would call him is like he's a political agitator. He is what Yosef, or he's probably a more extreme version of Yosef is to the left wing, but for the right wing. So this is a man. His name is Mr. Killinger.
Wait, so he's a right-wing agitator.
He is a right-wing agitator.
I'm pointing them out and naming as I say them. That is Mr. Killinger.
All right,
He's a right-wing agitator, navigator.
Navigator. All right. Thank you for pointing him out, because as soon as you two look over, you recognize the prince from the previous scenario.
Are you serious?
Yes, absolutely. He is
Prince Gabriel.
Yes, exactly.
Kostanovich.
Yes, Kostanovich. This is Prince Kostanovich.
Changed names again.
He clearly, and as you look, you had your suspicions at the time that Prince Kostanovich wasn't actually the prince, because he began to look a little different. And as you look at him now, you realize that basically his hair is a different color, and it appears to be his natural color, not dyed. And he's a lot more relaxed looking, and he's sort of sitting around, he's lounging, and he's talking with people.
It is astonishing the level to which we failed the last scenario. That dude's just over there being a different person. We didn't know who the fuck he was.
We did think it was weird that a Romanov was trying to find a Romanov.
Oh, we thought it was
we
weird.
Found with other Romanovs.
We just didn't do anything.
And we're like, oh.
We went to the zoo.
And then it turned out they were communists like us, but we didn't.
Well,
we didn't
you know
work
what?
with them.
You want to talk to him? I feel like we should just leave it. Well, no, he's not really the prince, though, is he? This is just the left eating the left.
But anyway, there are a few others that I recognize. Is that right, Jim?
There are a few others that you recognize. Specifically, you can spot to one side there is a very very powerful economic figure who is now sort of basically like the equivalent of like a new billionaire. And his name is Hans Druman.
He's a billion.
Oh, not a billionaire. He's
like a dozenaire.
He's like yeah, exactly.
Wow, he has like $10 whole.
Think of like a modern like tech entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like, someone like that.
Elon Musk.
Right, high out of Silicon Valley.
Not quite that high. More like I run a startup kind of thing.
Yeah, he did well, but he might just.
And his name is
that one there is Druman.
Hans Druman.
He's very rich.
What is his industry?
I don't know, something new. He's not called money.
Banking. He's in banking.
Okay. I was going to suggest technology, but it's just not. Cool.
Computer
you friends with him?
We have rubbed elbows before. I would see if I can catch his. No, he hasn't. We run in similar circles. Yes. No, I'm not friends with him.
Do those circles overlap?
Well, I mean, there are certain parties that I'm privy to and invited to from time to time. What do you mean by overlap specifically?
Are they the same circles?
As he and I.
Do you say you what?
I'm shaking my head and I doubt it.
Okay.
My family is an older sort. These younger money occasionally will pay tribute is not the right word, but in that sort of thing.
Well, you should make an introduction.
I probably shout. He's busy at the moment.
You can try and make an introduction.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna step up, straighten my suit.
The show is starting. Let's entertain ourselves somehow.
I check my saber as if I'm gonna stab him.
In the meantime, I've gotten myself. Is gin and tonic? Is that a thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Gin and tonic.
Excellent. So you stroll over towards Drew.
I center myself and I stride forth into the center of whatever conversation he is having.
Oh, okay, excellent. So the two of you are sitting sort of watching, and you watch from a distance. He looks up as you approach, and says, "Good talk. How can?"
Greetings, Truman. We met at a function earlier in the year. Lance Ryder.
Klaus.
I think we were introduced by a mutual acquaintance.
You understand I'm just coming here as a joke, and he almost looks like he's flushing.
Like
he seems.
Oh yeah, because he was wearing anonymous. Yes, well, this sort of thing. Yeah, I suppose it could be seen as funny. I'm here with my own company, a little We're doing films, documentaries. You're quite an interesting figure if you ever want to have something shot.
You start to realize pretty quickly he's uncomfortable and embarrassed.
That's
so
all right.
I would allow you to make either a hard credit rating or a normal intimidate check. So literally, because you realize that you've got him on the back foot and that he's not.
I'm just watching at a distance, being like, hey.
Intimidation, please, James.
You intimidating chap?
I am an intimidating chap. That is a success.
All right.
Are you serious?
As you start to go, he starts to try and kill the conversation really quickly and to say anything to get you. He says, "Well, why don't we meet? I promise you, I will. Good.
We'll do a dinner sometime. I'll get in touch with you. Very well. All right.
Absolutely.
Goodbye, Drummer."
He kind of cringes as you say his name loudly, and you turn, you walk back. You sit at the table, and Albin kind of turns towards you and says, "Oh, you know Hans Drummer?"
We run in similar circles.
Oh, and looks towards you like he's impressed.
Yes.
They are, in fact, the same circles.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I gave him one of our cards, so hopefully
you
something
did.
comes of that.
Yeah, good.
Does it have our current telephone number on it? Remember that
3.
batch we printed?
Oh, you beat me!
No!
And you're an athlete, I can see, clearly by your build.
I am. I train those that we film to make sure they are capable in front of the camera.
I'm afraid I don't know very much about sports. I have a rather singular interest.
Yes.
I'm interested in film. I study film quite actively. I'm interested in art. I work mostly since the collapse of my film company. I now work as a painter. I make my money selling my paintings.
Oh, you make paintings.
Yes, they've become quite popular
Do
recently.
you paint landscapes?
Surrealist paintings.
Oh, so like landscapes?
There can be landscapes, I suppose. None of you are particularly into art, unless I'm mistaken. No, all right.
I have no idea. I doubt
in
it.
which case,
You would be. I think photography is an art.
What am I talking about?
technically.
Yeah.
I think
no,
you would
but
be.
I don't get painters.
Yeah, photography is the modern
Anything that's
art.
not just like take a photo of that literal thing. Percy just doesn't get it.
yeah. Fair enough. He tries to sort of
You're
he
born
did
in
a couple of
the
other
wrong
things.
generation.
Yeah.
You just came in after during the Impressionists. Oh no, this is.
Oh, these swells, just
Yeah.
straight lines.
It doesn't look like that. It's awful.
This is wrong.
What is it?
Can
Wait,
you
hang
see?
on. Sorry, before I make this joke, Picasso, is he a thing yet?
Picasso is currently a thing. Yes.
Okay, clocks don't melt.
Salvador Dali.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit.
That's it. Dali is this period, I think.
Yeah.
isn't he?
Dali is around.
What was Picasso? Picasso was like
Picasso's a
weird
little later,
chairs.
30s and 40s.
Oh,
He's still
okay.
active. You're in the right period. You're testing my art history here, which is not fantastic. I believe that Picasso is currently doing. He just made Un Chien de Loup, the film in the French film with the sliced eyeball.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, which is so that's a weird film. Anyway, continuing along.
Rightio.
What were we saying? We just got derailed.
So he's.
We're all drunk.
And another thing.
Do any of you know about paintings? Oh, it's Picasso.
He's like, well, I mean, it's perfect. You're just drunk rambling.
We're talking over the guy who knows stuff. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
For what it's worth, he's perfectly happy to be talked over. He seems very pleasant. He will try and hit you with a couple of his other interests. He is a very, very keen boater. Do any of you sail?
Oh, no.
I live by the river.
Oh, excellent.
I often see the boats and canoes.
I'm an avid swimmer.
There you go. He would happily talk with the two of you and talk about the river. He sails past. And your house must be, I don't know that many houses around there.
The expensive property along the river.
No, it's tucked away.
I see. And he would talk with you about swimming.
Open plan living.
Thing that comes up a little bit weird is that he mentions, and I'm very interested in the occult.
But
Oh.
Yeah, I consider myself an amateur occultist.
Oh, what are you into?
Well, all kinds. I read extensively. I've read many of the seminal texts and in other languages as well. I speak English and I speak French. I speak some Spanish, so I've been able to learn and study. I read Latin reasonably well. I'm having a fantastic time reading into the occult, and it's truly quite sinister, a lot of it. But it's a fun read.
and do you believe it?
Well, most of it, no, but I think that sometimes there's a kernel of truth, you know? I really do.
Yeah, you'd be
Yes.
surprised.
Ah. Ah. Ah.
But But we wouldn't know anything about that, would we, Joseph?
9.
It's becoming more and more popular, actually. Over, and he points to Killinger, the Prince Kostanovich, and he points straight to him. He's actually, I've met him in several occult circles. He's quite an occultist as well himself.
By the prince.
You mean
Prince?
Killinger? Killinger.
He's not the prince.
Oh wait, is Killinger and the prince the same?
They're the same person.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like I only just got that then too.
Wait,
no, it's
what?
okay.
That was
Yeah.
the,
That was the
I get
reveal.
it now. I get
That
it
was
now.
the reveal.
Yeah, no, he's not a prince. He's not a prince.
Hang on, I began to think that prince was up to something.
Really, Killinger.
Grossman was behind those
He
killings.
was really.
That's wonderful. So,
we would never have told Klaus.
No, God, no.
Oh no.
anyway.
Klaus, by the way.
But
So the conversation continues along reasonably well, and you continue to talk. And after a while, finally,
there is this damn play.
yeah, you're quite drunk at this point, and at last, all the lights are dimmed. There's a large round of applause and a couple of like finalies as people clap. And
coming out.
a portly man steps on stage. Sorry.
No.
A portly man steps on stage, and he says, "Mesdames et Messieurs, Damen und Herren, we have gathered here tonight because we all share a singular love." A love of beauty, and he says it in this beauty, and then there's a bunch of snorts from all around, and everyone starts kind of laughing. He's really trying to make this a classy event, and considering that it's nude dancing, possibly not particularly working. As people laugh, he kind of tries to roll over it, and he says, "Yes, no, I say to you, we are here tonight to celebrate beauty, and we are going to worship beauty for the goddess that she is." What do you whisper?
What are you?
More like booty. With a
I think our table got like.
That's exactly what everyone's doing. That is-
really straight face that I can't achieve right now.
Something about this woman makes Joseph really sassy.
Albin is like sort of giggling to himself as well as you go through.
Also, the pun probably doesn't work in German, but oh.
I don't know. You get a similar.
That's the translator's problem. Now, as everyone kind of like sort of settles down, he continues and he says, "Our featured dancers tonight, soon to depart the city for what is sure to be a well-received engagement in Amsterdam, are Frau Anita Berber and her husband and dance partner, Henri Chatin Hoffman. The first piece is a solo performance by Frau Berber entitled Morphine." And he drifts off stage and the curtains are pulled back, and all the lights are dimmed and everyone begins to watch.
Jesus.
She plays to us strange.
Also, I was wrong about Hungary. It's Yugoslavia that she was in the torrid affair with the prince of and kicked out of the country. So there you go.
Crazy.
Rachel, what she doesn't hungry.
So the curtain is pulled back.
Yep.
And you can see an old frayed armchair in the middle, sort of like a black void. And sitting in the armchair is Anita, and she is in a very, very tight black dress. And she is holding a syringe in her hand. This beautiful piano music kicks up from the side of the room, and she takes a syringe and very, very slowly, sort of dramatically pushes it into her arm, and begins to draw out a touch of blood from it. And then, as if invigorated by the needle, she jerks up and she begins to move frantically in this wild dance where she is slow and kind of lethargic and then goes to these bursts of life. For what it's worth, it's quite a good dance.
Okay.
If you are into sort of modernistic interpretive dance, it's very well performed, and she is she's an exquisitely beautiful person. The music is Mishka Spoliansky's Morpheum, which is also an amazing piece. Are any of you particularly interested in classical music or dance as characters? No? All right.
Bits of music. Like,
Yeah.
I probably if it's popular, I probably recognize it at least, but no, this is not my circle.
I don't get this.
It's nice. It seems
I can
like
appreciate it for what it
a
is.
reasonably cool thing, and quite a few people are transfixed. Eventually, she comes and her face sort of completely relaxes, and she injects the blood that she has back into her.
Sorry, I
Hardly
mean,
sanitary.
sorry.
That's right.
All of my characters have needle phobias.
Oh, I apologize.
It's the only way I can exist.
She takes the syringe out, and the curtain shuts. And there is a great round of applause. And you see the man who was you were talking to earlier up at the bar, kind of like look around, and then he leans and he heckles loudly, screaming, "Take it off next time!" And there's a scowling around from a couple of people sort of glare at him. Some people laugh alongside him. The host, the portly man, steps forward and tries to sort of swing back over to the crowd, but all of a sudden Anita Berber bursts out and strides right in front of him, kind of leans over and just glares at him, and she whispers something down to the table, which makes his whole table erupt with laughter except for him, and he kind of looks down looking very embarrassed, and she strolls off and vanishes behind a curtain, like kicking up her heel as she goes.
Simply must know.
You can make a listen check if you
Oh, I would love to.
Go on then, Yosef.
What's my listen like? My listen is 30 from years of standing next to giant cannons.
I didn't know you were a big gossiper.
No.
She definitely whispered though.
Yeah.
You heard the word pig, and you heard the word hotel room, and that was all you could hear.
I don't know what to make of that.
All right, so continuing along, everything's sort of reset. A couple of people dart up for drinks, and within a minute or two, the next performance starts. The portly man steps forward and says, "My dear audience, we're now going to witness the beauty portion of the evening." Which the meaning is clear. Here's the naked dancers.
Yep.
Oh, it's happening.
Oh, like
First,
it doesn't work the second time.
Shushing you.
First, a duet between Frau Berber and her husband, entitled "Salom, the Prince of Judah." And he steps back, and the curtains open, and they've completely changed the set. It's still kind of like a black void, but they have moved into the
appreciate the
center.
quick change.
Yeah, it's quite well done. In the middle of the stage, there is this large, like Roman clay amphora, right? With a wide open top, and dripping down the sides is blood. And you're not sure if it's fake, stage blood or fake blood. It looks a lot like blood.
Just blood. Just blood.
Everywhere. Two people come on either side. One of them is Anita Berber, very clearly. The other one, and the two of you might remember him. You did see him in The Devil Eats Flies.
Yeah,
he was
I
the
remember
man
that was the
who is
dude.
with her.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. And he is dressed in a full, sort of very, very tight, well-cropped suit. She is covered in a shawl, and she's holding two fans made of peacock feathers, and she has a mask on. And they begin to dance, the two of them, and music begins to kind of blast out. It's a song from Richard Strauss called "The Dance of the Seven Veils," and it is breathtaking. It's a really good dance, and they go, and you enjoy it quite a lot. It is weird, and it is modern arty. The weirdest part is that about halfway through. Anita throws off her cloak, revealing that she is naked underneath, but she is concealing herself with peacock feathers, and it is very tasteful. Although towards the climax of the dance, as the music is getting louder and louder, she begins to reach into the blood-filled amphora and begins to smear it down her face and across her body, and the music is sort of building.
I don't get that bit. I don't
Yeah.
think. I kind of got it.
Actually, can I get you all to make power checks?
Oh,
Power checks.
cool.
Oh shit. Success 2.
Your character starts growing limbs.
Are you able to indicate to me what
Success 1.
what lucking will get me?
At this stage, it's not a particularly important role.
Oh.
It's just whether you're enjoying the show or hating it.
May I choose to hate it?
If you succeed a power check, otherwise you are transfixed.
No,
And
I'm
you
gonna.
are
I would rather hate it.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
That is great.
We both succeeded.
Excellent. All right. So if you succeeded, you are basically able to decide whether you like it or
I
not.
think I like it. I'm just confused.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
And if you fail, you are beginning to be transfixed.
We are not transfixed.
As the curtain closes, this time the entire audience is wrapped, and there is a huge round of applause, and everyone is cheering and everyone is sort of whooping. And the portly man comes on stage and says, she still has it, doesn't she? Wasn't that amazing? And everyone cheers and everyone claps.
I'm sure
everyone
she has
darts.
something from all those needles.
It was talented.
Everyone darts off for new drinks. Grabbing,
I'm getting him some water.
I don't need it. I'm fine.
Just wring out your jacket and you'll be fine.
I'll lean over while you're getting the water and you're like, is there a relation? Do you two know each other from prior to working together? Or I just there's some tension or something.
Me and Percy?
Yeah.
Yes, we tangled together, but
In
the war.
And you're not in the war.
I'm not here.
Yes.
And you're not close then.
We had shared experiences, as I'm sure you can appreciate.
Of
being
course.
a man of action.
Yes, I understand it. I will keep this conversation private as well.
I come
mention
back and
anything.
I'm like, are my ears burning?
No.
No.
And you sit down, it is clearly burning.
Ugh.
So, as you all sort of share your drinks, Alvin he's having a good time. He's like, she's not bad, is she? She's pretty
No,
good.
the talent alone I can recognize. I don't get all of it. I'll admit the blood is a little strange, but
Do you think it was real blood in your expertise as a filmmaker?
Oh, why would it be? I mean,
What if it was though?
I mean, animal blood if they're going for realism, but you know.
It just had that consistency.
May I make a medical or a first aid check?
Make a spot. You can make a hard spot hidden check, or you can make a medicine check. I think.
Oh, I don't have medicine. First aid?
1% chance.
Hard first aid.
Hard first aid?
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 point better than
Is
a...
that
than a
someone's blood?
hard,
Should it be inside them?
Yeah! Put
good.
that blood back where it came from.
Oh, so.
Hard first aid.
That's
Wow!
amazing.
Well done.
Incredible.
You are able to tell that it is animal blood, so they are going for realism. It is.
Yeah, it was not her
It
mouth.
probably smells weird.
Yeah. She appeared. She pretended to drink it, or maybe didn't drink it. You're not sure.
It
Why
was
would
real
you
animal
share
blood.
that?
I'm not sure what she gains from doing that. Right? It didn't add anything to
No,
the
it's
performance.
just-
It was
it's
only a
just
little.
sensationalism. She knows she's declining. She'll be out of the papers in months.
And then on the street shortly after that, I'm sure.
Oh, you might run into her.
Anything.
Excellent. All right. So, and you're sort of try. You manage to hold the conversation, and Alvin is trying to help you.
I'm not
You two
good
are
at it.
kind of-
I'm floundering. I'm not good at.
Confrontation.
If I need to yell at someone, I can do that.
Well, you're fortunate because before you have the chance to do much, the portly man comes up and begins to speak again. He says, "For our final piece of the evening, a solo number by Frau Berber entitled A Sartre." And the curtains pull back and he steps back.
Does that mean something in German?
No, it does not mean anything in German. And she steps forward. Now, the backdrop has been replaced with strands of what look like spun silver. It's truly beautiful. It's truly breathtaking. You hear this beautiful Tchaikovsky interlude begin to be played from a live piano off stage. And this music echoes through, and it is absolutely wonderful. She's wearing nothing but a Roman Legionnaire's helmet with like feathers in it. It looks totally bizarre. And she has hidden her hair in it, and she looks incredibly androgynous, as is the fashion at the time. She begins to dance, bit by bit, moving forward. She kind of throws herself into this dance, and she's wearing one of the same black masks that you are wearing.
I take it off.
You pull it off sort of disgustedly and toss it down. As you watch, you feel yourselves becoming more and more transfixed, watching, and all of a sudden the words of a song that you realize she is singing begins to sort of echo in your ears. I'm going to read you a passage from a poem called A Sartre, and it is from Dances of Vice, Horror and Ecstasy, which was written by Sebastian Drost and Anita Berber.
Isn't that the name of it?
That is the name of the scenario.
It's
yes.
everywhere.
Don't metagame.
It's too late.
You lean over. What does that mean?
The name of the scenario.
The poem goes like this. So, drips of silver, moon
Get you some more
silver.
water.
Drip of silver, moon silver, muted silver, rippling waves, blurred wafer. Hard over the ether, haze noon, children at play. It is a godlike woman. She is not a woman, she is not a boy, she is not an animal, she is not a god. She is the moon, silver. Hanging, dripping, holy silver, 20,000 pursuing women, bite through with furious veracity, 5,000 boys painted white, lacerate with great desire. A brother murders his sister, a child lusts for blood, all slaves lust for lash marks, all stallions scream for mares. Silver drops from above, moon silver, soft, holy, dripping silver. Lacerating, breathing out, evaporating, a satra. She wears the coat of divine vice. She has the headdress of divine desire. She wears the emerald green of anguish. She flogs, she takes, she screams, she dances. All slaves cower, all whores wail, all boys groan, all stallions whinny. And the moonlight drips and the silver shines, and a satra smiles. Earth altar offering incense, courtesans, rent boys, old men, animals, plants peeling, lotus Nile, a satra dances. Trembling outcry naked, headdress, emerald hips. She dances the great dance. The boys offer themselves. The women kill themselves. The animals defile themselves. The plants tear themselves apart. A satra dances. Then she takes Desire's great bowl, grips it with abrading hands, takes the head of the boys, the heads of the whores, the tails of the stallions, the leaves of the flowers, and laughs, laughs, and dances. And as she sings this, all of your hair begins to stand up on end. And the two of you who have been around people who have been possessed when Grossman was possessing people suddenly get this unmistakable feeling that something magical is going on. And as you start to freak out, everything starts to move in slow motion. Everyone is moving at once. I need all of you to make a power check. Failure in this will result in completely dire circumstances.
I am fine.
Fail by a lot.
Woo!
Well out of luck range.
Woo!
I am also not fine.
I don't get this, you know.
All right.
This modernist.
You have succeeded,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of like, well, you realize that there's something magical going on immediately. Like you know that something, and you could. In fact, the two of you having experienced spells before, not you, you need to make a sanity check.
Woo! Just passed.
So you're not going to lose any sanity at this point. Before your eyes, around you, you both failed, correct?
Correct.
Before your eyes, the whole room just descends into chaos.
Shit.
People begin to sort of get up and start screaming loudly. People are sort of grabbing at drinks. They're seizing each other. They are pulling each other into passionate embraces. People are leaping up. They're beginning to punch each other. It's just sudden excess, absolute chaos. People are dancing. People are jumping up on the tables. People are tearing off their clothes. People are screaming and reciting random songs, bits of poetry. You can hear war songs and chants going up. The whole thing just files into complete chaos. The two of you now indulge whatever random desire would lead to your character's mind. Do you want to dance? Do you want to fight? Do you want to eat?
How's old mate?
He has also passed. He is sitting there.
Oh, he's also a bit
Alan is like, he's kind of leaning close to you because you're a very big, strong guy. He's kind of like, what's going on? But the two of you leap up, you know?
Is it out of the question to go towards Berber?
No, absolutely not. Many people are.
Animosity.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
mess
you
her up.
Throw yourself forward as people begin to rush the stage. You are one of many now, sort of tearing forward. Some of them are like throwing themselves at her feet. Others are sort of beginning to brawl. You're scrambling around. What are you doing?
There was someone earlier on in the night who scorned me in some slight fashion, and I seek retribution. I will draw my saber. And I will seek to find them in the crowd.
Absolutely.
So, can I tell the old... I forgot his name.
Alban Grau.
Alban. Can I tell that he's unaffected?
Yes. The people who are unaffected are very clear. There's a couple of them. There's so this auditorium probably holds about 50, 60 people.
Yeah.
And probably about 12 who are unaffected. They kind of go, what the hell?
Okay. I am going to grab old mate and say... Get under the table.
He
get out of the
very
way.
happily. He dives straight under the table. Meanwhile, the two of you just said you find someone, and you're beginning to lose your mind further and further. You end up fighting, and
I'm not going to attack them. I'm going to demand that they draw blade, and it has to be even.
Of course. You get on stage, and your vision just fades. You can see that he's involved in a brawl up on the stage. And still all the way through this, Anita is dancing and spinning and twirling, although as she gets swamped, she kind of disappears from vision. You can't tell what's going on.
Holy shit.
There's now a brawl happening in this place. It is getting increasingly dangerous. If you want to stay, you're going to need to make a fighting brawl check.
Yes, I was going
Otherwise,
to say,
you're
are
gonna
the
have to run.
tables like relatively near to each other?
Relatively.
Can we like take a path of going under tables to try and get out?
Oh, you can get out. I'm not going to make you roll.
Oh,
to
right,
leave.
okay,
If you
okay.
want to stay, you're going to have to roll stuff. The two of you can get
Do
out.
I need to? I want to take old man with us.
You sort of like
Okay.
make way. Most people are rushing the stage. Few people are trying to get out, and the two of you manage to get out along with a couple of other people who sort of run. You go past this girl who's smoking at the door, who's kind of like, what's going on? As she kind of hears yelling, and the two of you burst out onto the street as you can hear sort of chaos from inside. Once you're outside, Albin, and we'll get back to the two of you in a second. But Albin's going, what's going on? What? That was a spell.
Something like
That
that.
was a spell. I was right. That was a spell. You know it was a spell. You felt it too. I could see it in your face.
Yes.
Where did Anita Bourbon learn magic? Why is she doing it?
I don't know. We need to. Is there any, could we speak to the door lady?
She's running down.
Speak to the manager.
You walk. Excuse me.
Refund!
No, I mean like, is there some way we could? Is there like, thinking like, is there like a fire alarm we can pull to like?
There's a fire door.
Disperse.
There's a fire door at the side. That someone sort of says, I've spotted, and you tear around with a couple of people, and you get to the side, and you can see that the fire door is actually already open, and it appears people have just been spilling out. And as you look, you can see figures running. You spot Klaus tearing down towards the entertainment district, waving his saber, yelling "Retribution!" A second later, you're almost bowled over by Joseph as he tears across to a park of sort of cackling to himself and tearing off.
Fucking awesome.
Do you give chase? Do you what?
Yeah, I'm gonna go after. I don't really know you.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill someone if
Go after Yosef.
Alden grabbed your arms and don't leave me here.
Well, come with me.
He tried. He's not very fast. If
Okay.
you want to catch Klaus, you're gonna have to leave him.
Nor is Yosef, I don't think.
No, that's 25.
Yeah, I was gonna go after
wooden leg.
Yosef.
Yes.
I can't
Albin's real
do
slow.
both.
No.
Okay, fine. Let's just.
Look at him. You don't want to leave him behind. Aww.
Aw, look at
Oh, is that the real
That's
man?
Alvin Grau.
Oh wow, he is actually
Fantastic.
literally exactly how I pictured it.
Yeah, that's pretty bang on.
All right, well, fine. Well, we just we'll go in Yosef's general direction to get away from the chaos, but we're not going to make chase.
All right. So the rest of the evening passes in a blur.
Fucking damn it, Jamie.
I've
Fucking
already
one
got
session in. I'm insane and friggin' bourbon's ruined my life again.
You two basically don't. You and Albin basically wander around. You don't find anyone. By morning, you basically Albin's exhausted. He heads home, and I assume you do as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother looking for anyone. It's sun's coming up. So.
Yeah. Now the two of you, I'd like you both to make luck checks.
Boy, we're.
No, sir.
Doubt it.
No,
92.
no.
My
92.
92.
My luck is 44.
Can you
That is
fumble?
a fail.
Can you fumble?
Okay.
luck?
What did you get?
78.
78. Okay. So I'm gonna tell you what happened based on the tier that you got in luck.
Excited to hear it, James.
All right. So neither of you got home.
No. And that's saying something when
Exactly.
it comes to me.
No, because with a
Where am
90, if the
I?
first decimal is a 90, you are going to wake up in prison.
No.
You wake up in a drunk, curled up, and you kind of, oh god, well, you've been in one of these before, but like,
Yeah.
and people sort of like, they're yelling at you. They say they'll let you have one phone call to try and make bail, but otherwise you're gonna serve like 30 days in this prison. It's not a good sign. You, meanwhile, with a 70, are going to wake up under his bridge. So you wake
That's
up on the
relatively
street,
fine.
and your jacket is gone, one of your shoes is gone, the sheath of your saber is gone.
I've still got the saber.
You've still got the saber. You're cradling it. You've got cuts on your hands from it. You two wake up the following morning. You both need to make sanity checks. You realize that you completely lost control.
Yo soy succeed.
This is not going to go well.
Ooh.
Oh, it goes well.
It went well.
13 out of 20.
Okay, with a fail, David, you're going to lose 2 sanity.
What?
Wait, didn't you pass?
I succeeded.
Oh, no, neither of you lose any sanity.
Alright, good.
Sorry, I thought
I
you
was gonna
failed.
say.
Sorry, I forgot what I did already. Yeah. All right. Yep.
Excellent.
13 under 20. How about that?
The morning's going to come, and as the two of you will sort of stagger home and manage to, you actually had a
Clutching my
reasonable-
one shoe in my
exactly.
hands.
Get home. When you return, you will find messages have been left for you, and they've been delivered. And they would have been the addresses would have been given to them by you, basically, or where to find people. I mean, you don't really have an address, so someone would have been told looking for you essentially, but you're not going to get home for a while because you are currently in prison. Nice. Your house will have a message waiting for you. Would have called you. Would have a phone.
People for that.
So it would be exactly. And it is from Alban, and he is basically saying it is very clear that something is incredibly wrong with Anita Berber. You are the only people who saw it with me. We need to figure out what is going on.
Very well.
And with the plot hook now firmly in place, let's take a brief break. Remember, we are doing a giveaway. Stick around. So
1 minute.
this is
In
where
theory, it is going to automatically start happening at 9.
We should hang around for that.
We'll hang around.
40 seconds away.
40 seconds away? Okay, absolutely.
What is the
fantastic.
giveaway again?
The
One more
giveaway,
time.
okay, so after we've started talking about the giveaway, we're doing a short break, and then we'll be back and we will get into the investigation properly, and we get to move through things, but we are giving away a PDF copy of Berlin, the Wicked City.
Wow.
Read ahead and find out what Jamie's
going
going to heck us with next week.
Yes,
Hours
that's
away.
What a 7-limbed horse. Oh, man.
That's where the emblem of Berlin comes from.
Wow.
I don't know.
What?
I was trying to time the Berlin.
If you read spoilers, you need to tell them to us. Secretly, where
That isn't-
Jamie can't find
That
it.
is 9 o'clock right now, so in theory a bot should come along and...
I don't frickin' know. I said it.
it
I'm
did
not
just
good
come
at it.
out, Geiger 80.
Yes,
68.
Gaga, it did just come out,
How
so this
long
is
ago?
a recent one. It was the first physical editions were being sold at Gen Con this year, so that was
shit, I
in
think it
early
worked.
August, so the PDF should have been coming out probably about a month or two before that. So it's not
works.
just out, but there we go.
If you
please.
type in Berlin
You
in
may
the
need.
chat right now,
That's getting entries is doing it. It's working.
it's working.
Bless.
Is that the
Fantastic.
capital B?
It doesn't seem to care.
Excellent.
Yeah, there we go.
If you're
Now-
watching right now, type Berlin in the chat.
Exactly. And with that, we're going to go on a brief break. We will be back shortly, and
I
you will
was
see
gonna-
all the exciting
I was
things.
gonna hang here.
You're going to hang?
Yeah, I'll just talk. Right? I don't. Right? I'm good, basically. Because I'll monitor the thing and make sure it's working. So, yeah.
Sure, fair enough.
Basically,
Okay.
yes, though.
Do the two of you, well,
Yeah,
Yes,
we'll go.
yes,
We're
hang
going.
for a
We're
break.
going. We're going. We're
Absolutely.
going. Sorry,
Okay,
just
hang
sounds
for a
right
break.
here.
we'll be back.
Live.
Hello! Thank you for joining us. I was shouted at by David to get ready, and I'm ready. I'm amped. I'm ready to go. Thank you so much for staying with us while we went on our lovely break. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining us as we play some Call of Cthulhu. And thank you to Reaper. Oh my god, wonderful as always. Thank you for getting some really cool members of the community some subscriptions. We really appreciate that. That's really awesome of you.
Blessed.
Thanks so much.
There's a guy in like a Grim Reaper costume at the bar, just like buying rounds of drinks.
Oh yeah, well,
If we're keeping with that tradition of weaving
right.
subscribers into the
Or
story,
a bunch of people just died.
yeah, I like the idea that the Reaper analog when he's enchanted goes up and starts handing people drinks, being like drink, forcing people to.
Yeah, have $5.
Oh no.
That's
No.
like 1,000,000 francs. Not francs.
That's marks.
Deutschmark.
But thank you very much, and thank you all of you. Remember, we're doing this giveaway, so say Berlin. Do not panic. I believe that if you have to go, that is all right. We'll
Oh yeah,
we'll
figure it
we'll
out.
find you.
We'll find you.
Joseph will sick Joseph on you.
And it's getting close at like 10 something when we end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do the draw.
Okay.
We've already got like a couple of people who've entered. Thank you so much
Yes.
for doing that.
if you just joined us, you type
Welcome back.
Berlin in the chat, and you'll go in the draw to win a PDF copy of Berlin.
Of Berlin.
City.
Wicked City.
How
Yeah.
many times can you
Courtesy
say
of
Berlin?
Chaosium.
Which is a whole book. You get it, but it's digital. You don't get the book. You can
And
print
you
it
can imagine
at
you
your
had a
local
book.
library. Support your local library.
All right. So anyway, continuing on.
Library use
Here's what's going to take place.
is a skill in Call of Cthulhu.
no, stop.
Go on.
So, the next morning, after returning, after getting your things together, you all, you were fine. You basically wandered around, but I would like each of you to say one bad, one really bad, and one really, really bad thing that you did last night in the
Jesus,
throes of your
Jim.
excess.
Okay.
I
Do
guess
we remember?
Is
No, just this is just
Yeah,
like
because really we're
Off
like
the shelf.
I'll say the line is you would not act any worse than your character would at their drunkest.
So murder is
Yeah, so what I'm hearing-
potentially
okay,
off
alright.
the shelf. Possibly on the shelf. You weirdos.
you went for your mortal launcher.
Oh,
No,
we did say.
no.
Alright. So
Oh,
did I make
did
it?
you-
Like I stormed the
oh.
stage trying to reach Berba.
You can't remember. Did you? I mean, that could be the thing. Did you lay hands on her?
I
Or?
don't know. I don't remember.
I mean, you don't. But you
I guess I'll find out.
Yes, okay.
Eventually. So that was the bad thing
All
because
right.
I don't know whether or not I was successful.
Sure.
The badder thing was like in the confusion, I kind of stumbled out in the street and spent the rest of the evening hobbling, chasing down after any passing woman who bore a vague resemblance to Anita Berba, kind of shouting at her about Elsie and about the printing
The
shop.
only thing that makes this slightly better is that you're so slow. that
I'm sort of like a real
and
threat.
a power wall is sort of keeping away from you. As you're like, I'll see.
That's right. And we did say at the end of the last session that Joseph would resurface
Yeah.
with the potential destruction of one of Berlin's many bridges.
All right.
Bitch.
Okay, so do you think the worst thing you did is you fired your mortal
That was the
launcher at a
very
bridge?
worst. That was the very, very bad thing. Not off a
Okay.
bridge,
Joseph.
into
To
a bridge.
Joseph,
Well, I have that. I
to
think that is a
house.
brilliant thing. We're going to come back to that because
Those who live under
we're
glass
going to
bridges.
come back to this lovely
should
act
not.
of domestic terrorism in a second.
Holy shit.
We set this up 3 weeks
I
ago.
know.
I'm not kidding.
Only doing a duty to the past. I'm holding you're a man of your word. If you said you were going to bomb a bridge,
That's right.
you're going to bomb a bridge. That was Jackson.
And yourself.
Oh fuck! I didn't bomb a bridge, did I?
No,
Yet.
you didn't.
Yet.
Or did I? I think I was spurred to violence. First of all, sorry, what was it? Bad and really bad, basically,
Bad,
right?
pretty bad, bad, and really bad.
Fucking 3 bears. All right. Well, Daddy Bear, I'm not saying that. I regret that immediately. First of all, I challenged someone to a duel, and I hounded them and made an ass out of myself into the streets. Really bad. I'm a
You used the wrong salad fork.
Well, no, I'm not super posh, really. I'm pretty brutish.
You could have done something like decided, being like, I'm going to prove to you that I'm amazing. I'm going to leap off this building or something.
Yeah, Chaosium for rice. I mean, if it's that bad, I probably scarred or seriously. I had a sword.
Yeah.
I probably do not know the stage of them, but all I remember was I left them bleeding on the thing and ran off.
Yeah.
And now I would like to find the hospital to see if I can
I mean, you don't remember the night is the thing. So this is more like these are things that happened.
Well, shit, James. I probably stabbed someone a lot in an attempt to make a duel, and then when they turned around and opened their cane to tell me to leave, I read that as a sword being drawn, like cut at them. And what we do is causemanship. It's fencing basically, and the whole thing is you wear eye goggle guards and you slash at their face. And if for a man to flinch is to show weakness, that's why I have facial scars. And so I cut at this dude's face. He's not wearing the guard. He's probably, at very least, he is blinded and needs urgent medical attention. Then I saw myself as victor and strut off into the night.
So was that was that the worst
That was
thing?
your second worst thing, though.
Oh, well, God
Because I've
damn
only
it.
counted 2.
Yeah.
In between, then I
blind-
I got on the metro and I didn't tap on.
Terrible.
Oh my
Billy is
god.
just getting out of a
I left chewing gum under the seats.
No!
What is wrong with you?
So you've quite possibly seriously injured someone.
Yeah.
And but waking up, you have no memory of this.
Okay,
you
good.
wake up and you sort of you pull up your sword and you see it is covered in blood. And you kind of go, shit. And you don't have a sheath for it, and you're in the middle of central Berlin. How are you getting home?
Right. And sun's up. People are going around eating their pastries. I'm gonna find a hotel. I'm gonna have a taxi cab brought for me, and I'm going to make my way home.
All right, you slowly make your way home. It takes you a very long time, and when you arrive, you see the note from Alban being like, clearly something magical has happened. We need to talk. You have some awareness of the mythos, and clearly you also feel like something magical has happened. You are aware.
I'm willing to have a conversation.
You're willing to have a chat? Excellent.
Do we have a small office somewhere that where the three of us work out
Like
of with
the
a couple
studio?
of other people?
Yeah, the studio. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be the
Fantastic.
studio.
Yeah.
It's like a back lot.
Yeah, it's a backlog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go there and you can. So you'll be meeting there. You're happy to have a conversation as well.
Yeah, I mean, because I kind of hung out with the old dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what? We should meet up.
Two of you are probably talking longer to the night.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph. Your bail's set at equivalent of about $200.
I've had worse.
Yes, you have, but do you have any money on you?
No.
Can you get in touch with someone?
Yes, I can make a phone call.
All right, okay.
The number is sweet.
No, it's
that's my number.
It's 1926. There's at least 20
No.
numbers.
Yeah, we're in double digits, baby.
We are
Oh,
11.
Sweet.
I'm very good.
Who are you calling?
You know, I feel like I should be calling Percy because we've been through these things before, but it was a bit weird last night.
Yeah, it was good.
And I know Klaus is probably better for the money.
All right.
Yeah, I also don't have that much money.
Well, Klaus was handing out business cards, fortunately, and you managed to fish one out.
You
find one crumpled in your pocket.
Yeah. So as you are home, sort of preparing to leave, a call is made to someone on the other end. Says called Joseph says that he knows you, sir. What's your butler's name? Preferably something that is a pun on the term butler.
Oh no, no. He gets a name when he earns it.
Oh.
He's just butler until then.
Excellent, Klaus.
Yes.
Would you like to speak with him?
And forgive me, I was going to draw a bath. What is the nature of the call?
He says it's quite urgent. Says he's woken up in prison and is in trouble.
Like on the stairs going up, I've got my towel.
Yeah.
A little duck. Go back down. I go, thank you. Yes.
Klaus, I'm woken up in prison and I'm in trouble.
What have you done?
I don't know.
And we all have questions about last night. What can I do?
I need the equivalent of about $200 Australian in 2019.
Hang on again. Abacus!
I thought it was... No, it's fine.
No, you would be paying. It'd be 100 marks or so. Something.
I'm not like super excited about just paying some dude's bail. I barely know.
Entirely fair.
I go, look, you have no one else you can call?
I saw it since you are so well connected.
Well, yes. Listen, I'll see that it's done, and we'll set up a payment plan or something, and we'll make sure everything's squared away.
Thank you. You're always working for the good of the people, clearly.
Well, wealth was earned. So just jot that down.
You can go and run your bath and have one of your household staff.
I want that to be his. I want that to be his catchphrase.
Jot that down.
So much. He ends every phone call with, jot that down.
Collective runs.
Put that in your memo.
Before they can respond, because he doesn't want them to have a clever repartee. He just hangs it up as he's yelling it. I sit in my...
He said jot that duh, and then I
I don't know what he was. I head up to my bath.
And send one of your household
Bath
staff.
bomb. And then, yeah, I'll... yes, I will have them fetch him. I'm going to tell them to bring him here.
Yes.
Is where you're going to be brought, and we will go together, unless he resists and runs. In which case, don't pay it.
Eventually,
You got me good there.
you were taken out of the drunk tank where your friend Sven is there. It's been a while, Joseph.
Oh, Sven, you would not believe the night I had.
Oh, what happened to you?
I don't know. That's why you wouldn't believe it. I can't tell you about it.
I had a similar night of excess and wild abandon.
Oh, yeah. Where did tonight take you?
Well, I jumped into the river.
Oh, it's quite lovely this time of year.
Exactly. The things get kind of hazy, and then there was a boat, and then I woke up here. You wouldn't believe it.
No. Oh, Sven, you joke.
I'm not a hero. I'm not in the same.
Elsewhere, just cackling madly to yourself.
You're eventually someone comes and sets you free. You've been to this police station. It's the same one where you spoke to Freak so long ago, but you don't spot him.
I hope he's
around.
not here.
I
made quite a good impression of him. I wouldn't.
You were doing so well.
Yeah.
Roll a luck check.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
Oh, that might be a fumble. 98 over 58.
By our rules, it is.
Exactly. So, as you, you. So your bail is posted, but as you go to walk out, and you can see sort of like someone dressed in the sort of attire of a butler is there to see you. But before you step out, one of the policemen grab you and say, actually, you need to talk to the chief before you can go.
Oh, he's made chief.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
yeah,
and you were taken and you are presented to Chief Krieg, who was sitting behind a desk, holding to his head a larger kind of a washcloth, and as he pulls it away, you can see he has a massive scar up across his face. And he's going to say, I hear you've posted bail, and I'm very glad. I'm going to give you one last chance to tell me who the man who did this was. Otherwise, we're going to have to seek him, and we're not going to be able to sort this out amicably with him.
Chief, you know, I respect you dearly. I tell you the truth when I say I do not remember the events of the night.
I thought you were doing so well, Joseph. I really did.
I know. I have let you down, and I will keep your guidance in mind. This I swear to you. If I find the rapscallion that gave you that scar, he will answer to me. It is the least I can promise.
I am not angry, Krieg. I'm just...
Krieg.
So, Joseph,
No, he's not Angry Krieg. You don't want to see Angry Krieg. That's later on. Now I'm Angry Krieg.
I'm just disappointed, Krieg. God, that'd be a depressing Hulk, wouldn't it be? I'm always disappointed.
You have my word. I will find this mysterious duelist and make sure he scars no more.
He stands up and puts a hand on your shoulder and kind of says, You're going to be okay. You can make it. And he gives you a long lecture on how if you just accept the Lord into your life. And,
Oh wow, what a twist.
Cool.
Well, the various versions
Of
of
course.
straighten up and fly right,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
then send you on his way. Sitting
Yeah,
down
nothing
and
cooler than-
pressing back the tea towel till he's still floating wound.
Alright, I have another mission. Find this rogue bladesman.
I'm currently I'm in the bath with my sword.
the duck is pierced and stuck to the wall. So you were driven to Klaus's house. And do you want to? Klaus, you probably finished bathing and you were ready
Yes,
to go.
I'm
Just as he
getting dressed.
arrives, and he's filthy. He does not look well.
And how are you feeling?
I can't say I've felt better or worse. Do you remember much about the events of last night? I don't think I drank that much, you see.
No, and I'm very well. I know that I can handle my liquor. No, I think there was something strange afoot, and I've had a message from our acquaintance of the night, Grass. He seems to have some suspicions. I think we're meeting him and suspect Percy later today. Listen, can I offer you a quick bath or a change of clothes?
No, thank you. I managed to wash on the way here.
Oh,
He did, sir. I tried to stop him.
right. Well,
He was in the car for most of it, but from the car park to the
Not the bird bath.
from the car park to the car of the police station, I had my eye on him. But once we arrived, I thought we were safe. Unfortunately, the decorative pond you had put in proved rather too.
right. Well, I am glad to see it being put to use. There's no ducks at this time of year. So, well, consider the amenities yours. We'll head off. Butler, if you draw up a short contract just explaining Joseph's debt and the steps we'll take to see that it is set to right.
Of course.
Very well.
And within a few minutes, you are in a car, both sitting in the back seat, driving along towards the house, and you have a contract sitting on your lap announcing a debt of
200
100 marks.
Excellent. I would sign it like to the people or something. Yes, you lent the people 200
All
Deutsch
right,
marks.
okay.
For the common good. All that good stuff.
You're pretty sure this is still binding.
Yeah, that's his. What do you mean, the people?
But I mean, society as a whole. Your earned wealth has benefited the common good. It has made its way out into society, and I am sure that one day society will pay you back in kind.
I'm sure that they will, but I know you understand. This was for you. Make
Yes.
sure you got out of prison.
Me.
I'm not paying. This.
A member of society. I am so glad we have this agreement.
Yes. All the same, I we'll discuss this more at a later date. And I folded up. Yes. What's the general view on commies?
It depends which side you're on. At this
I'm
stage,
not.
it's well.
They're super cool.
At this stage, it's
Totally radical.
the thing with how is Klaus political? A political person.
He votes with the parties that Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yeah.
No, only in that he probably donates to certain things. Yeah.
Basically, there are three positions you can kind of.
I'm probably less political
in
than these
this
guys
time.
are, but
Yeah, you can basically be apolitical, and this is something where you've deliberately removed yourself. That's usually
that'd be a stance.
exactly.
Which I'm
It's a
not
stance. Or you are, because of the polarization of everything, you're forced basically into the left wing or the right wing.
I'll be right one.
Yeah,
I definitely
absolutely.
that's
Yeah,
the top.
exactly. So you're probably enjoying the gradual rise to prominence of the right wing at this time.
Yes.
Which will lead to some.
I don't see any concerns in the near future. Well, all I'm saying is one of us will be on the right side of history.
Oh no.
So the car
That's
is.
not a real book that exists.
So the car is going to pull up. You're dropped off and you head inside and you head through and you rejoin the larger crew Grau has basically got access to this backlot quite often. He's still a pretty big name in film. And you've sort of gone into one of the quiet meeting rooms, and he sort of served everyone coffee, and some like water and some like pastries. And as everyone kind of comes in, he greets everybody, and you're all able to sort of make your acquaintances again. The two of you are probably feeling a little sheepish, or are you? You don't really seem like a sheepish sort, right?
No. Until I know what I've done, I'm just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna repress it.
I did I get the sense that there was occultism involved?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Even you who have no experience with the
I got some tinglies.
You've got some tinglies. It's one of those things where you know something's up.
Yeah, I think I'm like gradually getting more shaken as I start to wonder about the possibilities.
So Grau kind of sits everyone down, and as you all sort of sit about, he kind of eventually moves through to things and he says, "Okay, well, we all were present last night, and we all saw, well, most of the room erupt into chaos. Yourselves swept up in it, and Percy and I only hardly able to keep our heads."
You ran off into the street waving your saber. You stormed the stage, I presume, with intent to harm our dancer lady friend.
Friend?
Berber.
Well, how exactly do you think that you were unaffected, the two of you?
Honestly, I think it was just some kind of luck.
Maybe how much we drunk, maybe how much we'd slept. It could be any one of things.
There were others. It wasn't just us.
I admit to have not been entirely honest with the collection of you last night, because I didn't want to push too hard. But I have experienced firsthand that there are elements of the occult which are real, are distinctly and definitively. I don't know if any of you have had such experiences.
We have.
Yeah, to be honest, we were also not being honest.
Oh.
Yes, we have. We could. Do you want to call it extensive? I guess it's extensive experience.
See.
And these are the trenches that you were. The shared. Yes, right.
Yes.
I see.
Klaus, have you?
I've had the veil lifted, certainly. Not to look. I think I know very little. I only know that I know very little. That makes sense.
Well, look. I'm no expert myself, but here's what I do know, or I strongly suspect. What happened last night was a magic of some kind. I believe the modern term is a working, some kind of working, and whether it was intentional or not, I don't know. Whether there was malice behind it, I don't know. But if there was a will or a purpose behind it, or if it was so chaotic and accidental as to put other people at risk, then I think that it is our responsibility as the only people who were aware in the room, except perhaps for Killinger, but I doubt that he'll be spending his time with this sort of thing. We need to find out if anyone's in danger.
Killinger left, didn't he? He stormed out.
No, he didn't storm out.
Didn't he? I thought when I harangued him, he bailed.
No, you didn't harangue Killinger. Drummer, you're thinking.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Hans the Drummer.
You're right, Killinger. No, you are correct.
Yeah.
Drummer did leave, though, right?
No, he stayed. He was there. He just sort of was like, get away from me, kind of. Yeah, he didn't want to be made.
Well, either of those people affected?
Pardon me?
Well, either of those people affected? Killinger, Drummond.
I didn't spot. I was too busy cowering under the table. If the collection of you didn't spot anything, then I didn't spot anything either.
How's the paper come in from this morning? If
Yes.
it was a madness, then there should be a report.
And he tossed the paper down. Indeed, there are reports of excessive drunken antics, and the police had to be sort of involved in suppressing some kind of violence that erupted, and it seemed to be based out of a show where Anita Berber was performing. And then it sort of just spins off into a tabloid article extolling that Anita Berber's still around and still doing crazy things.
That's kind of what I'm wondering. Ultimately, would this make a positive or negative impression on her career? Because if I was thinking that this was done to, controversy. Now she's bringing it back. Would I be justified in that thought?
You could be. There's no distinct, clear outcome.
So it's not clearly a strategy to get attention.
No, it's not clearly a strategy. Did Charlie Sheen's chaoticness assist his career? I definitely hadn't really heard his name or cared about him before then, but then he sort of got turned into a joke. So to a certain extent, yes, it's probably brought her more into the limelight, but whether it's
She was already fairly popular.
No such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly, that kind of thing. So, but it does not seem like a distinct strategy, or if it is, it's not a very well thought out one.
But all I'm saying is if this was done to draw attention to her, I'm not sure that it was entirely successful. I can't imagine why she would have done this intentionally. It may have been an accident or caused by somebody else.
Maybe it wasn't to do with her popularity at all. She's already popular. There were loads of people there. She doesn't need this kind of thing.
The other thing I'd like to point out is that these modern dances, these modern forms of art, they are so transgressive and so wonderfully poetic and different that under a specific lens, they can look entirely esoteric and entirely sinister in nature. Drinking from a vat of blood takes on wholly different tones if we believe it's part of some kind of working. I am concerned. I am worried. I want to find out, but I am also old and well known within esoteric circles, occultist circles. If I begin to stick my nose in, I'm worried that I could immediately give the game away.
Right, well, certainly wouldn't want to see anybody else hurt. And these are similar circles that we'll be working in anyway for our films and such, so it doesn't hurt to ask a few questions.
Well, I mean, it is expected of us to be meeting new people all the time, and
That's right.
I can
That
use my
kind of-
connections to set up a meeting with the collection of you and Berber. Good.
just Berber.
Well, I presume she'll have her husband around, but
We would need some kind of story, surely, for why we want to meet her.
certainly, I'm a new film I'm thinking about producing.
This was the sort of thing that I was thinking of anyway.
Could be a documentary on her methods
It could be.
and career.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be real.
Well, no. Let's not discount things. I mean, we don't just work out of the goodness of our heart. Everyone does things for a little bit of coin. So, you put some money away from your things. If you finance this film and if you see this research as a part of it, and we get, some budgeting accordingly.
And she is in the paper. It helps the company. Just as an aside, how big is our film company?
Medium size.
Are we like sort of like the underdogs, or are we doing okay?
You're doing fine, but you're not doing great.
Okay.
You're just sort of ticking along.
It could be the boost that the company needs. I mean, I don't like her. I don't really get her work, but like I said, she's in the paper.
Controversy.
Yeah.
We have to meet her.
Yes.
We would also be there. You wouldn't have to talk to her. We could pretend that you're our mailman.
I promised that.
I'm entirely sure. You said you had some previous experience. You said you met the woman, and clearly she had a souring personality. What exactly... was there an affair between the two of you?
No, not that
Was
one.
there?
No.
How do you know the woman?
We met her once
Right.
in a
Dive
nightclub.
bar. Was a slum tourist. Andrea Platz.
Hey!
Excellent.
Bam!
Experience roll.
Yes. She seduced a friend of ours to a night of debauchery.
From which
She met her demise mere hours later.
she was it really? I thought it was like a couple days later.
Mere hours
It was
later.
about a day, but yeah. Right, and so she led to the untimely end of your friend.
We disagree. She wasn't the cause, but she was a what's the opposite of mitigating?
A precipitating factor.
Precipitating factor.
Right. Well, is this not perhaps a chance to if you find out what's wrong, then maybe you can put this to rest.
Yes, perhaps
Yes.
it is.
But maybe it would be best if you don't go to the meeting.
I will go where I am needed.
We just don't want to offend the lady.
That I cannot promise.
Well, look, I hate to say this, but if she truly is a sinister master of wickedness, then I rather do hope she becomes rather upset. So, but until that is established, she is as innocent as anyone in this affair. I would like that to be remembered. I would suggest that we look. I can, as I said, I can put together a certain amount of financing. Put that forward. Early stages as of yet, but we can begin to have some discussions about a film. And of course, this is within the scope of the production company's work. I can speak with some people. I can make sure that you're paid and fairly recompensed for this. And who knows, perhaps we will produce a wonderful film out of it. Of course, we'll need a name. A fake name for a film. But we can revise it later, of course.
It'll be called...
Berber is dance.
I think she'd like that.
Sure.
Berber
Sure.
is dance.
Berber is
Yes,
dance.
Berber is dance.
Disagree, Joseph?
Berber is not dance.
About something like Elsie's a Miller Girl.
I don't.
Sorry, say that again. Sorry.
Elsie's a Miller Girl.
I think perhaps we should, and this isn't him saying suddenly he reveals that he knows who Elsie is. I think we should avoid mentioning your friend, based on the fact that you've probably mentioned
Context.
Elsie's name. Yes. Yeah. But Berber is dance. All right. I will set up a meeting.
Sorry, yes, it's excellent.
Berber is dance. I will set up a meeting. I'll get in contact with you, and we'll organise it. I would expect that I'll be able to set it up for tomorrow. So if there's any preparations you want to make, please.
No, I yes, thank you.
Right. And he'll leave at this point, leaving the three of you to have any discussions you want. You will get word a little bit later for a runner or for a call. He sets up the meeting for about 11 a.m. the following day.
And it's only the morning of today.
So yes, so you have a full day until then, and you are going to be having the interview at the Excelsior Hotel, which is the most expensive hotel in Europe.
Nice.
Oh my!
It is. It has restaurant facilities sufficient to feed 15,000 patrons a day. It is an absolute
Wow.
this is what a mega hotel.
So, what is our strategy?
And you present yourself to the staff downstairs, and they will direct you to her room.
Spectacular. Sorry.
Okay. Well, so what are we doing now? Are we going to discuss? Are we going to...
Have we at all buried a lead about certain bridges and structural integrity?
You haven't remembered anything.
Okay. What about the newspapers?
Anything in the newspaper?
This is what I'm concerned about.
Would you be thinking to look through them?
No, I guess not.
There's nothing
yes.
that's made front page.
Very good. What was I being held for?
You were being held for public intoxication, resisting arrest, and a variety
That's
of
it.
minor charges in that regard.
All right then. As we were.
Getting out on bail doesn't mean you're free to go. It still just means he still has to come back and do trial later.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. You're out on bail, so you've got...
I'll get my $200 back, actually, when he goes back.
Yes, you should.
Well, spectacular. Oh, that's a fucking contract, isn't it? Saying don't go missing. There's what we want to do today, and there's also, I guess, the means by which we will approach Ms. Berber. Mrs. I think she's married, she has a husband. Mrs. Berber tomorrow. I think my strategy for Mrs. Berber you'll quite like. I say offensive. We go in there, we strike an intimidating pose, we declare her guilty of a series of charges, both fabricated and possibly real, and we see what shakes out of the tree.
I like this plan. It is good.
Several problems.
Mm-hmm.
What if she denies it all?
That will she can deny it, but if she's on the back foot, we might glean some insight into her workings. And we are not particularly well known to her. We're a little risk to us, I suspect. I think I am no great charmer. I do not think I would make friends with her, and the company she keeps is rather more handsome and richer than us. I think we will not make friends with her. I think our best bet is to strike.
Do we have any evidence?
That's today. You can go back to the hotel. I mean, you said it was pig's blood, right? That's a crime, surely. We've done filming where you have to use that sort of poxy shit. There's a reason that's not allowed. It's sickening. Also, I can't imagine that the drug thing was needles on stage. OHS.
That's just esoteric art stuff. We can't really pin her for that. I think it's more the hypnotism of an entire auditorium. I think we should focus.
Yeah. She provoked us in a city. We are in a period of unrest. There are, I'll tell you, some unruly sorts in the city this sort of time, and a mere strike of a match could explode the whole area. She was provoking.
Well,
we are welcome also to lean on the fabricated side of things.
Yes, say we know something. Wink.
Like wink or oink?
Wink.
Oh, it's
I
fine.
don't think there was a pig involved. We did hear something about a pig in her hotel room. Or you did.
Yeah, you did.
That's cool.
Maybe we could bring that up.
We say we know about the pig in the hotel room.
We know about the hotel room.
I am sure that casts a wide enough net that she would panic anyway.
The thing is, if we go up there, she will also likely be inundated with drugs. So she may be in a slightly more lenient state, depending on when we find her. If she thinks we're coming up there to do a little puff piece, we strike her with the hard facts, or those we've made up.
We know about the ritual. We know about the spells. You have 24 hours to deliver 200,000. No, maybe that's...
No, it's not a crazy thing. We give her a small period and we say that if not, we go in there, we say we know everything and we're filming this documentary. It goes live tomorrow. If you wish to stop this, you can find us here, and she will approach, veiled and sunglassed, and she will tell us the secrets, and she will say, but this can never reach the public.
Great. I'm liking this collaborative vibe. What if it doesn't work? Do we have a backup?
Well,
could we?
Kidnap her.
I was going to say that.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, hang on just a little. I understand for you, there is little risk. Your family name does not bear weight. If this were to get back to me, you understand, I could lose a lot here. And I'm not quite sure I'm willing to risk everything just yet.
Okay, well, what's one rung down?
You abduct her.
No.
Fine.
And I am nowhere nearby. I'll help after that. I can't be seen doing any of the abducting.
That is perfectly agreeable.
Okay,
I just feel... But
we're not hurting the woman, are we? Necessarily. She hasn't... I mean, she's a popular figure. That's good.
I
a lot of
have
attention.
read in the paper, though, that the restaurant that we're going to serves 15,000 people per day.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking there might be a lot of people there.
Easy to go missing.
But they could see us.
Yes, if we're seeing her in her room, difficult one, we possibly find where she's going later.
Why don't we suggest that we go back to her room for some cocaine?
I think the intent is to meet her in her room.
Oh, okay, I thought we were meeting her.
We'll be there from the get-go.
Oh, well, that's fine. That's totally fine. Yeah, I think we should totally kidnap her if it doesn't go well.
Sorry, hang on. From the 16th floor, we're to prod a gun in her back and walk her down the stairs. Is that the intent, or out the window? How does this play out in your mind?
No, we're not
that's
doing-
maybe
no.
possible. Let's just no, not yet. It's a very high up.
Look,
and
it's fine. It's Plan B. We don't need to. We don't need to like. we
I'd
don't
like
need
to slide in an A.2, but just before B, I think we'd best flesh that out a little more. Abducting is a drastic step.
That's why it's Plan B.
C.
Okay. Plan B is we
Leave.
steal all her drugs and then we extort her for her drugs.
She's rich. She'll just buy more. What if we bring some drugs with us?
Okay.
That's a gift.
Plan-
If she takes poorly to the intimidation, we say, Amelia jest, and we ply her with liquor.
In my experience, gifts usually come before intimidation.
Okay, we start with
Not good
drugs.
at-
Drugs is Plan A,
Right.
right? Is anyone writing this down?
Yeah, it's all up here.
Don't we run a newspaper still? No, we gave that up.
You run a what? You run a newspaper.
We did
Not
do that,
anymore.
yes.
Right. You publish.
We published exciting material for the people of Berlin.
I love when there's people sort of.
Can you make an education test?
I'm hella educated. My DC is 90. Oh my god, 91.
I have not realised.
There's a tiny chance. Okay, yeah, I got. Right then, good.
You have not realised.
They need to read things. Keep them
Penny has not dropped.
in this sort of time. There's a lot of
Economically sound
Yes.
material.
good, excellent. Yes,
Work
they need
hard,
things to distract them, and you
Save 20% of your wage. The rest will come.
back. Don't buy
The wage which was kindly given to you by
It's not given, they earn it.
Your
Yes.
your benevolent corporation. No. Okay. So Plan
I
A.
found a typewriter in the corner. Plan A.
Okay,
Fly
plan-
Berber with drugs and alcohol.
Do we have either of those things?
I have liquor.
Do we have? Do you have friends you can get some of? Cool.
More your
Yeah.
speed.
We might.
What was a preference? Did you say cocaine?
I mean, it could be cocaine. I feel like the people
The
of.
song was about morphine.
That's true. We could bring some morphine and be like, we were at your thing.
Surely these shitty tabloids mention her favorite drugs. That's what people talk about, right? That's what people are interested in.
Make a intelligence test to recall.
I am less intelligent. Success, barely.
Okay, so you would recall it just because
wait.
it is.
Sorry, I'm pulling up my character sheet. It might not be a success.
Ooh, you may not recall it.
It is not. I'm
It
not
is
very
not.
smart.
Okay, you remember it was really weird, but you can't remember what it was.
Okay.
Well, what-
Something
what if
strange.
okay, well, it's not cocaine because that's very bland.
Cocaine.
What was?
It was. She called it her morning elixir, and she said she'd have it every morning.
Oh, it's Lord. No, it's not laudanum.
Laudanum.
Technically,
Did you ever
sleep.
check on that? I
It's
kind of
opium,
know
isn't
what's
it?
on the
Laudanum.
street, right?
Yeah, there's more tabloids. Or
You can make a hard education test.
I know the street names of, you
Yeah.
know, give me some of that morning elixir. I don't.
hey, homie, what's
Actually, I will say genuinely, I won't let you roll on this, Jackson. I'll tell you why.
You bastard.
Once, this is not something that you would find on the street.
Oh, okay. Very good.
This is eclectic and weird.
That's
Okay.
fair enough.
Okay, maybe
We can
she
puzzle.
injects blood. Right? She did it on that stage. I know it's weird.
I hope not.
We're not gonna be able to get any of that. Let's just bring cocaine. She's not gonna be
It
upset.
doesn't have to be something she already knows.
Cocaine's
We,
like,
we invent our own
how much time do we
that she
have?
hasn't tried yet. We don't invent it.
There's a
we
great
just
chemist
invent it.
operating out of
Wait,
Massachusetts
I'm
that
a
you should have to learn
chemist.
with.
Are you?
I'm a chemist. I have 30 in chemistry.
Oh my god.
I like that this is like, the cocaine's like the Cadbury box of favorites. You bring it to a thing, we have a bunch of different little baggies of pills, and everyone gets their favorite.
Okay,
That's why it's called that.
Can I? Okay,
What's your brain when you're told not to
Happy
be
of
a
you.
alone?
A box of pharmaceutical grade drugs.
Okay, what if we get some cocaine and then I dye it a funny color? I'm a chemist.
Yeah, we could just stain it.
Yeah.
She seems to sort that.
I'll make it silver.
And we invent some
Silver.
amazing properties for it, of course.
Yes.
Think of its
yes.
name.
The placebo effect takes care of the rest.
Okay, great.
Also, it is cocaine, so it'll hit her.
You need to get some. I will get some silver dust that you use to make nice cards.
Oh, fucking fantastic. She's gonna die in 30 years from handling this shit. That's fine. We'll get her there.
Excellent.
We're dealing with the Cold War by then.
Okay, plan A, we ply her with drugs and alcohol, including this amazing new drug she hasn't tried yet. Plan B, we intimidate her by saying we know everything, and the drug we just gave her was in fact a true serum. And she will be compelled to tell us everything. And the placebo effect will take care of the
Then
rest.
plan C is kidnap. And we'll improvise from there.
I'm good at that.
You should bring your mortar launcher.
Of course.
What? What do you mean the
Exactly where I left it, but
Do
I'm
you
sure
want
I
to
will
go
find
get it?
No.
In the exact place where you left
What
it?
madness are you done?
I was in the army, the engineer corps.
Yes. Are you allowed to keep those?
There were some forms or details. I didn't bother with
And
too
besides
much.
of we the people?
Yeah. Well, of course, the people through their taxes fund the army.
It doesn't mean you get to keep the weapons.
Your logic
They're there
does
to defend our country.
your logic does not follow. I'm sorry.
I like that you didn't figure out he was a communist, because now he's a communist
With a
bomb.
water launcher! Jesus Christ, the People's Army! Right, no, just bear with me. This is insanity. Every level of this is mad. The first one...
You didn't see the way you acted last night. You tried to kill a man.
Well,
With a sword.
I will...
In 1926.
It's not the period for it, is it? Look, I don't know what happened last night, but if I was inspired
I
to
don't know
act
that, sorry.
through dark means and sorcery, then I will get my retribution upon her. And that will be that. But abducting the woman, drugging her, she has friends in powerful places. This could tear us down.
Plan A is we will talk to her.
It may be that, yes, I think a bribe, we can say it's something fancy and that's good, and then if we want, we play hardball. I'm just saying abducting will get us in a lot of trouble. No mortar launchers either. Damn.
All right. And after a very tense discussion, a plan is come to, the greatest plan I think I've heard in a Call of Cthulhu game.
Really? Oh, stop.
Wow, that's a low
No, you
bar.
stop. Seriously, stop. And you go about your business for the rest of the day. So I believe you will be finding some libations.
Yes.
Make me a hard education test. I'm using your sub-career as hobo for this. Make a chemistry test.
Oh, so my education is like my street smarts.
chemistry isn't
because
actually
it's
that
my
hard.
vocational education.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm going to spend 9 points of luck.
To have that succeed? Okay,
Yeah.
excellent.
Oh, nice.
Hot damn.
Hot damn.
I'm going to spend 2 points of luck to make
Yeah.
that a success 3.
Oh my god, you lurk around the Andrea Platz and then find what's the most cocaine dealer name you can think of?
Dodgy Hans.
Dodgy.
Dodgy Hans!
Dodgy Hans, of
Dodgy
course.
Hans.
His twin
My good
brother,
friend.
Slimy Hans.
Ew.
No, Dodgy Rudy.
Dodgy Rudy.
Dodgy Rudy.
Okay, and Dodgy Rudy.
Rudolph.
Dodgy Rudy gives you some primo stuff, and you because of an old favor you owe him,
Of course.
you're able to get that. So that will probably take up your day, both of you, to get through that. What are you doing in the meantime?
Well, I would like to. I've got a full day, right? Can I go back to the theatre?
Absolutely.
I'll offer if anyone wants to come with me. I'm not going to go separately.
They're occupied.
Busy bees?
Yeah, they're busy
Okay.
bees.
I'll go back to the theatre then.
Yep. It is shut, but you can see people moving around in it, cleaning up damage, like repairing stuff. You recognize the portly man who was on stage before come up.
Hey!
Hello. Yes. Sorry if you're another one of the patrons. I tell you what I've told all of them. We're sorry. We don't know what happened. You'll take up your issue with.
And what are you doing to make things right? I've ruined a pair of clothing. I've ruined an evening, and I may have ruined my reputation.
Well, we've spoken to the police.
And what have you told them?
We've told them everything that happened. We've let them mention they are investigating now.
Right. And what are they doing? Are they talking to people?
I don't know.
Berba did this. Are they talking to her?
I'm sure they'll speak with her.
And because she did it. And she was not there dancing, bathed in blood.
Yes.
Yes.
It was a
So it was her.
Well, it was a radical new performance, and we all agree with that, and we've alerted the police, and we've done everything that we can.
Right.
And Everyone's reputation should be ensured. I'm sure you were wearing a mask if you were worried about it.
Wasn't wearing a mask because I was assured this would be a quality performance. Listen, I'd like a word with Miss Berber. If you have a private line or something that I can contact her via, I would be greatly appeased.
Can you make an intimidate check for me?
Yes, please.
Oh.
Skazam.
Oh.
Success. 3 exactly.
He starts to look really, really worried. I mean, you were towering down. You are clearly
Success too.
You are clearly someone with means. You are clearly someone who is furious. And eventually, he's a line. The only line she cares about is a line of coke. I can't get a single word through to her. She won't answer. I'm at a loss. You should see the damage I've incurred. I know that your reputation has been damaged. You've told me. I may never recover from this. She's destroyed everything.
Well, maybe you'll learn something. The woman, has she been seen?
Berber.
Yes. She left last night?
No, she's probably gone back to whatever hotel she's staying
Probably.
at.
Where's she staying?
I wouldn't know.
Who organised any of this?
She did through. We get in contact with all kinds of entertainers, although usually they're much easier to deal with than Anita Berber.
Right. I don't hope so. Well, if you hear anything, I'd be pleased for you to get in contact with me. That's my number on
Thank
the
you.
back.
Thank you.
If you need any filming done, we do that as well.
I'll bear that in mind. Thank you. And he sort of hurries inwards. He appears really not to know anything. It is what you get.
How bad does the damage look? Just as I peek through the window.
Oh, real bad. Like, go into a bar and then smash everything. Like that kind of level. Like every bottle's being tossed everywhere on the table.
Can I see blood? Can I see any corpses with white sheets over them?
No, you cannot.
Blood though? Like no stains? Well,
Just make a spot hidden check.
yes, please. Ska-chow.
Oh.
Success 2.
You don't have a great look. You can see. You can see as you have to go around the side where the side door is. The side door has been busted open. You can see the stage. The stage is covered in blood. But that appears to be
the animal blood.
The animal blood.
Yeah.
Beyond that, no, there's no dramatically visible signs of.
Are there people
death.
like mopping up the blood?
They're mopping up the animal blood. Yes.
I want to like slam my hand on the window, get their attention once, and just go like, "Is that real?"
Someone will rush over and kind of cow or pig. It's
disgusting. I'm genuinely pissed as well.
Yeah,
I'm happy to take it out on these people for a little bit as well. So I'll threaten to tell people. I'll be like, I'm telling the newspaper.
Can you?
And I'm gonna tell the police.
You've made an intimidate check. As you sort of bustle, you spend the day hassling people and trying to sort of like shake some information loose.
Justifiably, James.
Oh,
I was put upon.
Yes, you definitely were. Pardon me. The information that you will manage to get is that no one is really able to follow where Berber went because she passed out. And she was taken care of by her husband. Her husband carried her off with another man from the audience.
Can I tell? Ooh.
With another man from the audience?
Can I tell if they
Another
were?
man from the audience.
Do I know if they went to the hotel or hospital or something? Do I know their destination at all?
No, they
Was an ambulance seen
This is
arriving?
from no ambulance was seen arriving. This is from people who have given word. There's like a variety of sources that she left with her husband and another man, and she was completely incensed.
Thank you.
All right, the three of you spend the day working relatively hard. How much time do we have left before the giveaway? Just so I can.
It's 10:05.
It's like 10:05.
So is it going
Excellent.
at
It's
10:30?
I killed the automatic one. I will do the draw when we wrap. So
Perfect.
yeah,
So,
you got time.
we'll keep going for a little while. Remember, if you're still just joining us, if you do not already know, type Berlin in the chat if you want to go into a draw to win a PDF of Berlin the Wicked City, which is the campaign we are playing now. Continuing on. You work throughout the day, you get the various bits, you collect the drugs, you dye them, you manage to shake out a little bit of information, and you put everything together. The next morning, your driver will probably sort of duck past and pick someone up, or they can you'll meet at the Hotel Excelsior. Are any of you taking any special preparations?
Did I have time?
Go and look for your motor launcher. You absolutely will have. So, returning to where you've hidden your motor launcher.
Slow down, Elon Musk.
which is hidden under one of the bridges. Sort of, there's some loose cobblestones, some dirt, and you buried it there. You get there. This is where you keep your precious things. As you begin to look through it, you can see that it is missing. And you were panicked because this is a really prized possession.
Brunhilde.
But then as you go to grab it, you realize there is something else in its place. And as you pull whatever it is out, you realize that it is 3 small, tattered first edition books that certain you have seen before. Sees life. That you know nothing.
What are the books?
The Three Musketeers is one of them, and then there's 2 other first editions of favorite stories. You may need to make a sanity check.
I would love to.
The devil.
Heck.
For you, sir. Ooh.
It doesn't matter really.
32. Yeah.
Unless that's cocked.
Not
No.
too. I think it's 30.
It's a 32.
32?
It's a
Yeah.
32.
Yeah, or 70. Whatever you prefer. No, sir. My sanity is 20.
Okay, in which case you're going to lose a single point of sanity.
That's bad news for me.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, is it? Because my starting sanity
I don't
is
think
20.
you're definitely insane.
So I'm only worried when I lose.
Yes,
When I lose
yes.
a fifth of that.
You're only going to be worried when you lose large portions of sanity.
A fifth
A fifth of 20.
of 20.
So
which is
4
which is
in
4.
one day.
Yes.
That's fine.
You'll be right.
Careful.
Don't worry about it.
She's alive.
So that is the news you receive. Joseph is on. You're in the death spiral.
7-legged goblin with a fucking mortal launcher.
So the following morning, you all meet at the Excelsior Hotel. Are you picking these people up, or are you kind of letting them get there themselves?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Do you want a lift? Where are
Yeah, I mean, I live in an apartment in
Sure.
a suburb.
That's not an issue. You can be picked up. How about yourself? Joseph?
Do you need a ride, or are you already in the
it's-
city?
Yeah, I'm already there.
Yeah, you can
I'm
just
always
walk.
a short walk
I knew
away,
you trendy dog.
which turns into a long walk
Wow.
in my case.
Very good. Well, can I offer you a change of clothing? It's a nice place.
Oh
Are you
no,
looking
it's
to make
fine.
an impression?
I just washed them on. It's
Don't worry about it. I've been trying to get him to change his clothes for years now. It's a lost cause.
Right.
is there...
Not years, but you know.
We're at your place, right?
I'm going to my... Yeah, sure.
Oh, I don't know where we are. Where are we?
You probably rallied.
This is last night.
Yeah,
before
probably
we
rallied back at the back lot. Actually, it's
Yeah.
open at all hours, and it's pretty private.
But what?
The
Oh,
back
the
of the studio.
Grouses. Yeah.
Our
Gilbert
studio
film,
or
yeah.
Grouse?
No, Grouses.
Grouses.
Well, the one that he used, which is part of the studio that you're all in.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Alright, yes. So, so I'm just saying, if we're looking to make an...
Look,
And,
maybe you should just swap out your old coat for something. We'll take it from the costume department. Just something clean. It's been dry cleaned. Dry cleaned.
Thank you, but I'd like to keep me warm. It's kept me safe. We'll continue.
Okay, no, I'm not going to push the matter. Percy, can I offer you a necktie, bow tie, bolo numbers?
You know what? I'm gonna wear like a nice cravat. It's a little scarfy thing. Yeah, it's very
That's very
Scandinavian.
modern.
Yes.
So, gathered together, you make your way across to the Potsdamer Platz, and then from there across from Anhalter Station to the Hotel Excelsior, the most expensive hotel in Europe. It is an absolutely amazing place. You come into this cavernous bottom floor, more reminiscent of a shopping centre than anything else, with restaurants sort of bustling. You head over to this large wood panelled desk with a huge wall of keys and pigeonholes behind you that extends up into the ceiling. Needs a little ladder to get through to all the various ones. And as you go up, who's doing most of the talking?
I think you fit in the best here.
Yep.
I'm
Welcome,
happy to
sir.
remain quiet.
We're here for a meeting.
A meeting. And who would that be with?
Anita Berber. We'll be over there, having a sit down. Could you bring drinks, please?
Berber. Very good.
Ah. Why the long face?
She's a menace.
Yes. She is.
Difficult guest.
You don't know the half of it. Room 333, and he collects a key and hands it to you. Up on the third floor.
A well-trafficked thoroughfare.
We don't let any of the public upstairs, so it's not too busy.
I assume you're checking our names off against something.
I've been alerted that there would be visitors today for Miss Berber.
Right, well, it's us, no one else.
All right. You're the party of Grau's party.
That's the one. Right, has she seen any other guests today? Has she been taking her breakfast? We understand she was unwell.
They're always unwell. They're crazy. We don't cater to them. We bring them. She's denied all service from us. She doesn't have her room clean. She doesn't have food brought to her. They manage themselves. They just lay their heads here and cause no end of fuss. The rooms all on the inside of them are empty because no one can stand the noise, and our guests come in and going at every hour of the night. I'm afraid I wasn't on staff last night, so I wouldn't know. We don't sign them in. They act their own way.
Right.
Has this behavior been happening since the events of a few nights ago, or is this usual?
I'm not familiar with what you. So this has been happening for the last few weeks since she's back in Berlin.
She's been here for a few weeks.
That's correct.
And she comes and goes at all hours.
Yes, it's like housing a terrifying house cat.
Do you know what kind of people visit her? Is there any, or is it just random?
Unsavory kinds. He looks towards Joseph for a second.
Just a second, Jim. What's the name of the scenario again?
Dances of Vice, Horror, and Ecstasy.
Dances of Vice, Horror, and Ecstasy. Cool. Go on. I'm just answering your.
No worries.
Question.
Scenario
Thank
1
you.
was the Devil Eats Flesh.
Devil Eats Flies was the previous one.
I want to.
The next one is called Shrek Film.
Wait, what?
Shrek Film.
Is it really?
Wait, what?
Shrek Film.
It's
Body!
Is it just called?
You
Okay.
just made that up.
No, it's called Shrek Film. That's probably mispronunciation, but it's called Shrek Film.
Shrek Film.
It's spelled SCHRECK Film. Shrek Film.
Sounds like Shrek film to me.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to take the key, and I have nothing more to say to that.
All right.
So he ceases to exist in your.
So you head upstairs.
It's very rude to us.
You head upstairs. You rejoin the sort of a group towards one of this like mahogany inlaid elevator, and you head straight upstairs towards the third floor. Is there anything you do on the way up, or
Did you bring the cocaine? Sorry, what are we calling the cocaine? Shit, what do we call it?
Oh, it needs a name.
Is
Is
it tropey for me to call it Uber cocaine?
Uber cocaine?
No, I think that's great.
Uber
Yeah.
cocaine. Okay, it lasts twice as long.
It's
and
a compound word because we're very fond of those.
Yeah.
and it tastes like fresh strawberries.
I wouldn't say how it tastes like because she's going to take it.
Okay, well it smells like fresh strawberries.
No, she's going to take it. She'll take anything you put in front of her.
We tell her what it tastes like. It's placebo if it takes care of the rest.
Confident.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
It
leave
gives
the
you
drugging
visions.
to
It gives
you.
you visions of the silvery moonlight on a winter solstice. That's why
Silver,
it's
Not
silver
unlike
moonlight.
those.
yes. And then
Moonlight's
we
good mention.
wink. You don't wink. It'd be a bit weird.
I will
And
blink.
I can't
Okay.
wink. This one's sort of scarred. You wink.
you blink. You wink, but you have to do it really slowly.
Yeah.
And then you have to do the other one at the same time.
James, how are returned soldiers seen in Germany? Can I just wear my officer's uniform around and demand respect? And if I wear my officer's uniform, can I wear a saber without being questioned?
You aware we lost? War?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Oh,
very
yeah. Aren't there
aware.
like massive war reparations?
Yeah.
No, you would have trouble. You would have trouble with you could, but it's a hell of a
Yeah,
statement.
because I'm very. All right, yeah. 'Cause I want my saber.
Yeah.
'Cause it's very like imperial, right?
Yeah.
The Kaiser
Yes,
has been
yes.
essentially kicked out of the country.
Yes.
Probably-
So
it's kinda like a
I'll actually
symbol
wear
of
it more
him.
often. I think I'm still proud of my service, but I think
A lot of
probably
people
wear
are.
it
A
more
lot
less.
of people are.
I think I did wear it till last night.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing that you might wear it to.
Fancy party.
But no, just kind of a meeting like this, you would not.
Okay, I don't know my saber then.
Unfortunately.
Balls.
All right, so you arrive at the third floor. The doors open. You begin to walk along, and you can actually see you have to their rooms are tucked away at the far side. As you get to the hallway, you can see that the entire hallway appears to be deserted. All the other rooms are sort of locked, and you can actually see there's a bag and a couple of clothes outside the door to room 333. You get close and you sort of knock on the door. You've got the key to open it. You can hear shuffling from inside, but no one comes to answer. Would you like to open it up?
As I'm holding it, I go, look,
It's stuff. Oh, we have keys. Sorry.
333. Half of 666.
Yeah, and a third of 999. And a
Naming
quarter.
numbers then.
And an extrapolation of your phone number.
Didn't get my number.
You open the door, you swing it open, and immediately on the other side, just as it opens, you see that there is someone coming to the door, and it is her husband.
Keen to give us that.
Yes.
cake.
What was his name?
His name is Henri Chatin Hoffman. Henri, spelled Chatin, C-H-A with a circumflex accent. I don't know what that is called in English. It's a little triangle. T-I-N hyphen Hoffman.
I think it's called a
H-O-F-M-A-N-N.
circumflex.
Is it called circumflex?
I don't know. I did French a long time ago.
In French, it's called an accent circumflex, but
It's probably just called a circumflex then.
yeah, one would assume.
So he's looking as he watches a heavily scarred gentleman, a homeless man, and a relatively tall but normal person open the door
He's
to
walking
their
towards
apartment.
the door, and the door opens, and he kind of steps forward. Okay, so first of all, he's dressed in he's in a dressing gown and a pair of slippers.
Cool.
The room is filthy. It is an absolute mess. There are clothes everywhere. You can't walk across this thing. There is stuff all over the bed. Everything is upended. It is a complete and utter mess. This is like rock star life times 1,000. You just can't get anywhere. You can see over in the corner by the window, Anita Berber is sitting there in this very, very skimpy nightdress, and she is leaning over. She's still wearing stage makeup, which is now 2 days old. It is the same makeup she was wearing at the dance, and it is smeared and caked, and it is a complete disaster. It is a total mess. And she is leaning over a bowl, and she has in her hands a large white flower. She's picking off pieces of the white flower, and she's dipping it in the bowl and eating the petals.
You still have blood on her as well.
Yeah, smeared and caked and
Oh,
dried.
that's real blood too.
This place, it's like the smell is pretty bad. They've sprayed perfume everywhere, but it is not doing much to hide
If anything,
things.
that would make it worse.
The man kind of steps forward and he says, "Oh, hello." And he actually, literally, he says, "Oh, hello. Sorry, guten Tag." Do any of you speak English? Because this man is American and he does not speak German.
I wrote down French, I think, before we decided Percy was Swedish.
Yes.
So he speaks Swedish.
What was your French skill?
15.
15. You can replace that with English if you feel that would suit. Otherwise, it might be more. You might have Russian if you were working on the Eastern Front.
I think no, because he was definitely the front with French.
Right.
So that's what we decided was
In
the
which case, you don't speak English.
That's fine.
So he kind of manages to get a couple of words through.
What?
Come.
Yes.
Come,
Okay,
and he
we go.
motions through, and then he talks to Anita in English, and then he kind of flops on the bed.
Speak English.
Gross.
It's a
Flops
weird
on the bed,
language.
and he kind of just sits there. Anita turns about towards you, and the door's been Almond shut the door behind as he went in. She turns and she says, Growl's party, wonderful. Thank you for coming to attend to me. I'm just afraid I'm having my morning elixir. She dips another petal in and
So she's dipping it in
dipping petals into this bowl.
into whatever the elixir is.
I'm
Just,
gonna
is
do
it
petals.
immediately clear like what kind of is it like a viscous
It's
liquid?
a liquid. You can make a chemistry check.
Yeah,
because
fuck it.
you are a chemist.
Nice.
Hell yeah!
I'm going to step to the side when we get in and let these two kind of take point for the
Hell
time being.
no! I'm not
you
a
can actually have
chemist.
advantage for part of this, not the whole thing, because there is a very distinct. Actually, I'll just give you this. There is one thing that you cannot, if you're at all trained in chemistry, you cannot mistake is the smell of ether, because ether has a very distinct smell, strong scent. So there is
Wait, no, sorry, I'm thinking. I thought you said ethanol. What's
no.
ether?
Ether is it's a anesthetic often used by dentists.
She's just
This is basically a bowl of surgical grade anesthetic.
Cool.
she's just having it as like salsa dip
It's for breakfast.
Exactly, yeah.
for breakfast.
She keeps us up. We're going to take a wisdom teeth. A couple of these.
She looks pretty insane. So she kind of smiles towards you. She looks. Her eyes kind of go across you, and she's going to roll to see if she recognizes any of you.
Cocaine is gonna suck next
Yeah,
to this
compared
shit.
to Dentist grade.
She recognizes you. She does not recognize you.
Who did she
we
recognize?
barely
It's
met
for you
before.
because you've spotted her, but she does not recognize you.
So who did she reckon?
You.
Oh.
Nice.
And she got a success 3, so she's actually going to recognize you from way back when.
Oh, Jesus
So she
Christ.
says, "I've seen you years ago. We met at a club, didn't we?"
Yeah, I was just passing by.
I see. I hope I made an impression.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Good. And you're working with Grau. He's making another film.
Yes, a documentary.
What kind? What on?
Yourself?
Yes.
I'm very happy to hear.
Yes, well, we're just getting into the nitty-gritty, having a look at all the details, all the, the
Continues eating.
positives and negatives associated with fame and performance. That's the subtitle.
Certainly. That's wonderful. A documentary about me. I'll sing, I suppose, on the documentary.
And dance.
Yes.
I'm glad. Yes, you tell him I will participate.
Yes, well, we had a few preliminary questions just to get things going.
Certainly, whatever you need to know.
If you wouldn't mind putting down your breakfast.
Oh, I need this.
That's fine.
Why do you need it?
This life would be so boring without it. She kind of giggles. She's actually like, as experienced a drug taker as she is, she's taking hard drugs. She is a little slippy and not quite all there.
High as a kite.
Her husband is like literally just like lying on the bed, just kind of like looking back and forth. He has no idea what you two are talking about.
Fine. Well, if you're going to take it, then do so. Percy, why don't you start us off?
But
I do the second part.
Gift.
we have
Smack
we
her
have
if
we have a gift. So we heard that you, as we can see, you like to indulge in some of the higher pleasures that this city can offer. So I am a chemist. Yeah, I went to the university in Stockholm.
Right.
It's the
University of Stockholm.
University of Stockholm. Yes. And I got a degree in chemistry. And we have this really nice, this special kind of indulgence. It's called, we call it Uber cocaine.
I would make you roll because it seems a weird thing, but she just doesn't care. She just motions to her husband. She says something in that language you don't understand, English. And he gets up and holds out his hand.
Okay, you've got it.
Oh, do I?
Yeah, you
would have
it.
treated it though.
No, but I gave it back to you.
Oh, okay.
He takes it.
Careful, it's potent.
And he
he doesn't understand.
takes some on his nose and snorts it. He stops. Yeah, he's less out of it.
And I gesture to the lady.
For the Fräulein.
He sort of speaks to her, and she takes and she makes a line and takes it, and then passes it. She seems to wake up a bit as a result of that. He literally takes it and kind of just tosses it to the ground amongst all the crap on the ground. Make a spot. Can I get all of you to make a spot hidden check at this point?
Yep.
Oh no, not. Hey, do you pass?
I success 2.
Should I? Oh, if you got a success 2, that's all good. Success 1 as well.
Okay, with a success 1, what you are spotting is that you can see as the guy goes back, he sort of gets on his bed, he picks up a book that's sort of lying on the ground, he begins to read it, and you can see that the title of the book appears to on the front contain a bunch of Egyptian hieroglyphics, and the title is The Occult in Egypt, a history of the occult. So it is clearly an occultist book of some kind.
Right.
With a success 2, you actually notice scattered around there are a couple of pamphlets sort of kind of lying on the ground. And your eyes sort of pass across a couple of them. You spot they are titled Magisch Briefe, which are magical letters. They're written by someone called Gregor Gregorius. And you only can see a couple of them lying around, but you spot one that says mirror and crystal magic, one that says splitting magic, and one that says satanic magic.
Oh my.
They're kind of just lying around on the ground.
Are they not like concealed in any way?
No, it's just, they're concealed in just a general mess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Berber says, well, thank you for your gift. I'll answer everything you want to know. What do you want to know? I'll tell you about my dances. I will tell you about everything.
Yeah, Klaus has plenty of questions about your dances in particular.
You like my dancing?
Yeah. Last night, no, the night previous,
Yes.
there was a commotion.
Yes.
We would like to know the cause.
Sometimes my dances are intoxicating. You know, the first time that this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
It happened many times to me. These people, they can be overthrown by my presence.
Well, that be as it may, it wouldn't be related to any of these little tomes scattered about your room.
She looks around and what tomes?
Well, that one, for example, satanic magic.
Looks towards them. I want you to make a psychology test.
Right.
Sorry.
No, I'm hella lost.
Okay. She looks at them and she's saying, those aren't mine. Those were probably left here by one of our many guests.
Right, and the guest.
At this point, Henri gets up and he picks up all the pamphlets.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks, he moves over and he puts them.
Hang on, those are pamphlets. Pamphlet. Can I see them?
No.
I am a guest here. We've given you a gift.
He kind of gestures.
Ma'am, would you have your husband just show them to him? I'm curious.
She's going to make a constitution check to see if she's still okay. She's still okay. She turns and she sort of yells at him in English, and he says something sort of quickly and sternly back, and they start nattering to each other in English. She seems very annoyed.
I'm gonna clap really loud right in front of his face.
Side note, the German for pamphlet is pamphlet. So
Pamphlet.
Is it?
We can have that one.
Pamphlet.
Well, he's hearing it, but you're clapping in front of his face. Or
Yeah,
her
I'm just
face?
gonna clap really loud in front of his face.
Yeah, he kind of steps back a few steps, but then
I'm gonna start I want to be over him a bit. How big is this dude?
he is slight in build. He's pretty small.
Okay.
He's a little weedy.
I don't want to let him know that I'm
an
not
intimidate check for me.
Okay. Yeah, success 2.
Okay.
Almost success 3. If that would help me.
Okay. He kind of looks towards you and then
Give it to me.
hands over the pamphlets. Yeah, you take them.
Light reading.
Um,
I'm just gonna pocket him. I want
yeah. She says, take them. Doesn't matter to us.
Well, so you're unclear as to the cause of last night's events.
I am a good dancer.
Yes, so it was caused by you.
What?
It was caused by you.
Possibly. And she stands up and then falls and literally falls to one knee and then she starts giggling. Her husband sort of walks towards her and picks her up and starts sort of muttering something in English, takes her into the bathroom for a couple of seconds and you hear water running. And then he comes out and he shuts the door and he points to the bowl of drugs. And he walks over and he to his drawer and he pulls out open the nightstand and he walks over and he's got another small pamphlet in his hand. This one is titled it's in German and it talks about a piano recital. And it is a piano recital that he is doing this coming night. And he gestures it a few times and he points at it and he kind of hands out one to each of you.
Okay. Well, we'll.
Yes, get out of your hair.
Sorry, what about the rest of the plan? We tell her that we know everything and she needs to...
We've got information. We've got things to lead on.
She doesn't seem like
We're only going to make
she's in a
here.
position to tell us anything.
Oh, she's in a position to tell us everything.
Did you see? She's basically passed out in the bathtub right now.
Yes.
She's also, I think she's told us. Genuinely, I don't think she.
The guy sort of.
Way to sort of
he doesn't speak any
No,
German.
I agree. But we're sort of talking about it in front of him.
He keeps pointing to the bathroom and he said, I need to go. He goes into the bathroom and you can hear retching coming from inside and he appears to be taking care of her. You're literally now just in their room and there's...
Okay. I'm going to gesture at the elixir. Do you know what that is?
It's
with proper time to examine it, you get close and smell. It's ether mixed with chloroform.
Jesus
What
Christ.
would one do with that?
Dip it in flour.
Put a horse to sleep. Really? It's one of those things where I was sort of saying she's a drug addict to the point of this is the equivalent of huffing paint. This is absolute ridiculous.
She is not with us right now.
I think she's possibly being taken advantage of. I'm not sure that she's the.
Well, who else could it be but her
would
husband?
be the exact cunning ruse that we would expect from.
I think you're
She
giving her
knows
too much
more than
credit.
nothing.
We need to find someone who
She is a
speaks.
performer. She is an actor. This
She
is what
could
she
be-
does.
All
You
we're doing
need to
here is-
see past your bias against her. She is clearly a woman in duress right now. We need to find someone who speaks English. This guy clearly is involved.
Yeah, she clearly plays that part of her.
These booklets are strange. I'd like to know where she found them, but I think it's more related to him.
He's
think
got
we
the
have some
piano
leads to go
recital
on.
tomorrow night. We just need to find one person who speaks English
The pamphlets are in English.
Yeah. Oh, in English?
Yes.
Nah,
and someone who can translate English.
we've got a few leads to go, and I think we cut bait now, and we can always return. She was fairly willing to. She seemed open to the idea of a documentary. We have a lead. We can get back in here now if we
Well,
need to.
we can get her to the studio, just her. We'll say her husband can't come, and then we can talk to her.
We also know we can bribe her. I don't think the abduction is necessary.
I am extremely disappointed that we only stuck with Plan A. It
Plan A
is-
kind of worked.
We're not gonna-
unfortunately.
It's
Okay,
the first
we-
time I think that we've made a three-part plan and only needed Plan A.
Yeah. Oh, we can resort to Plan B. We did a little bit of Plan B.
We'll do Plan B tomorrow,
All right.
and then Plan C in the
As
indefinite
needed.
future.
Yeah.
As ne-
Yeah.
ad hoc kidnapping.
Excellent. Well, for now you're heading out, though.
Yep.
So you're going to turn and you're going to head out and you begin to move and you're moving back out and soon the door will shut back to Anita's room and you'll be back out on the streets ready to go. And we're going to call the session to an end there. But I want to give a little hint of what's coming next. So I'm going to read part of the description of this scenario so the people know what's coming next session. And that is specifically this. As a cold wind whips the streets of Berlin, death stalks the cradles and nurseries of the city. Inhibitions fall away, and abomination and vermin clog its streets and clubs. The investigators must find a way to restore balance to the world before a new Babylon rises on the banks of the Spree.
Whoa!
Well, we
Nelly.
did well last time.
Screwed.
We are 0 for 1.
What?
I believe we can be 1 for 2.
That's a lot of pressure, dude.
Just a little. Thank you for joining us,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank you for being here for that lovely Call of Cthulhu game, and thank you again to Reaper for doing that wonderful community subscription burst. I believe we have a giveaway to do.
Yeah, so just before you do that,
Okay.
David, in describing our campaign, I wrote the word Berlin in chat.
I just
Oh,
drew
no.
you, so I'm ignoring it.
Okay, good.
That is very
Well, I
funny.
mean, this is the last chance, right?
I was
exactly,
gonna say,
exactly.
can you please strike me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. There's
Because
a
I
last
did just
chance.
get that. I went, ooh. That's
So
why they use the
everybody,
exclamation mark.
this is your last chance. If you haven't already entered the draw, write Berlin in chat. Thank you again
10 seconds.
for being here. Thank you again for joining us. We're going to give this away, and then we're going to tell you about what's coming in the next couple of weeks and all the exciting stuff that's on the horizon.
Yeah, Berlin's a code word.
Right,
Should now
Berlin.
be in it. All right.
Berlin in the comments, and you go in the draw to win.
All right. I'm doing it. Hi.
Here it comes.
Let's do it.
And the winner is...
Trace, dos, uno. Art Phalo. ARTHFAELLO.
Congratulations,
We're a
Art.
winner.
That is a fantastic. That is fantastic. Thanks. So,
We'll reach out to you.
we're going to reach out to
Most
you. We're
likely
going to direct
message
message you
them.
on Twitch and get some details from you and send you a
I can
copy
do
of
this.
this book.
Hey! Our fellow has been drawn for the giveaway. Oh, they're there in chat.
Yeah.
Very happy.
All right,
with
we'll probably message you directly through Twitch, so just make sure you can receive messages or whatever's necessary,
Yep.
and then we'll figure out we'll get you the PDF as soon as possible.
Fantastic. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so for joining us, everyone, so much.
Yes.
Sorry, that was really
so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.
Big thank you.
We're just hitting 1,000 followers, so we're really excited about that. Thank you all for joining us. Remember to subscribe to our Twitch channel if you like the stuff. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you can use that to subscribe for free because
Excellent.
that is
Yes.
an amazing thing about having Amazon
Subs
Prime.
can view VODs right away, but
Yes.
we do rebroadcast 7:30 PDT on Wednesdays,
Mhm.
So that's for
and
Americans.
episodes go up on YouTube
Sundays.
about Sundays.
Yeah,
Sunday
like a
after.
week, like a half week after.
Exactly. Thank you for joining us. There'll be some exciting stuff coming next week.
Shit. Yeah, we should mention that.
Yes.
So Jamie's going to be in Noumea for Weekend Geek, which is not Australia.
Yes, I'm going to New Caledonia for Weekend Geek, so I will be there running games in French which is going to be a lot of fun. Because I have
really?
never
We can
run.
stream that. We might be
That's so exciting.
So if you're in New Caledonia,
Yeah.
speak
What?
French.
Come on
on down and see Jamie.
Absolutely. But while I am gone, these fine folks will be playing something really, really exciting with David stepping into the keeper's chair.
Yeah, we're gonna run a 2-shot. It's a tight little punchy campaign. It's a lot of fun. So we'll do that, and then we'll be back to Berlin to resolve whatever clusterfuck is going on here.
We also have some exciting stuff coming down the line. Jason Dural will be in Australia, who is the line editor for RuneQuest. And he will be
cool.
joining us in some capacity on the stream. So we'll be some more details about that down the road. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Jackson. Thank you, David.
Thank you, James.
That'll be
Thank
very
you,
kind.
Jimmy.
We'll see you next time.